Roses now.
I
I
do.
forgot about that. Nigga, what they 2-2?
Hey, you said they was gonna win the division, niggas.
Okay. What up, y'all? What up? This is the place where sports opinions collide. Dead in Sports. I'm your host, Kenneth Means. Joining me on the show, we have Shelton J.
What's happening?
Spike Lou.
What up, though?
And Nikki Duce.
What's going on?
No FIFO this week. He's running, y'all. He's running this week.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, if you want to know why, maybe go to his Twitch channel. Or, I don't know, did you stream that game?
I streamed some of it. He did stream it too.
Yeah. Go. Yeah, just go.
He,
go watch that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he left.
go
He had
watch
to get up out of the city.
Yeah,
He ain't going out of town.
He quit the game. He said, "Man, I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go on
He had
auto."
to get-
man, yeah, right.
Yeah, he
It was
take a
surprised.
break.
I was surprised. I was like, bro, am I playing FIFA? Like,
Damn,
I
it was like
bro,
that.
it was
That's why it wasn't no
done
league
before
podcast.
it started type shit.
That's why it wasn't no league podcast. And
Nah, there's no league podcast this week.
Nah,
Yeah.
what's crazy is that like
Please.
I was on auto, but then while he was playing, I called him just to see like if he was still playing. I'm like, let's restart it so I could play because I
Yeah.
wanted to actually play him.
Get in.
And he did. He was in the fourth quarter of that game. I was
And
like,
losing.
he was losing that game.
He was still losing, but he was
Yeah.
driving, but he was still losing.
Oh yeah, so I was like, let's play again. Bruh, he probably was like, bro, I should have just said, dog. I should have
Yeah.
left that phone ringing and just finished that game.
The hilarious part to me, and this is why I wish we could have done the show, was when this motherfucker high stepped into the end zone
Oh yeah, after a pick six.
after a pick six, down 40 plus. He had the nerve to high step into the end zone down 40.
I gave
plus.
him 14 out of his, I think, 16 that he scored. I gave him 14.
Yeah. It was
Or
like
something like that.
Was it 40-14?
No, I think it was like 70.
it was almost 80. It was like 78 something to
Man. It was
Was this
bad
a
game.
season
Yeah,
game?
yeah, it was a season game. It wasn't no playoffs and that shit.
Yeah. But anyway, you guys are now tuned into the best live sports talk show on YouTube. No filter, no agenda, just sports fans talking sports. As we get ready to kick things off, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button, like button, and let everybody know that we are now live. And if you are not a member, you can join by going to youtube.com/deadendsports and hitting the join button or hitting the icon next to the super chat button as well. So we really appreciate it. It helps support the show and keep everything going. So without further ado, let's get into it, man.
I think this will probably be the last of Overreaction Tuesday.
Oh,
Mhm.
no.
Because we just talked about it. We're going into week 5. So then we'll be 1 week. After that, week 6 will be a third of the season. So we'll be used to some of these teams now.
And
so
no more overreacting. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Right.
It is what it is Tuesdays moving forward. First one, we didn't talk about this as a collective. I might have talked about it on Thursday. The Dolphins played the Bengals. And that game was interesting for a lot of reasons. But the main one we'll talk to, I guess I'll get Lou and Sheldon. Well, I think Sheldon, you already gave your opinion probably Thursday. But Lou, I want to hear your thoughts on this situation with Tua and the Miami Dolphins, because me and you went back and forth in the chat about this.
We did.
And I want you to explain your point and your reason for your perspective of this situation.
I think that the system is broken, and you can't specifically blame the doctors or call for a firing of someone on the medical staff like they did of the Dolphins. It's like the NFL or the Dolphins or whoever is trying to cover their tracks. So let's fire this random guy. The fact of the matter is, like, Tua plays football. This happens. Like, there was nothing that was gonna stop him from getting that second concussion based on that play, other than him not being out there. And him not being out there wasn't based on any one of the doctor's decisions. Like, he was gonna go play football. That's what he does. So I don't feel like calling for a firing is the correct course of action. Like, these are football players. This is what they signed up for, bro. Like, he signed up to have a concussion, act like he didn't, and possibly go out there 5 days later to play. Like, that's a part of the game. If you don't like it, I mean, play baseball.
This nigga is a heartless
That is
bastard.
the wildest shit.
Bruh. Because first of all, my issue was I was telling them Stevie Wonder knew he had a concussion after that game.
After the first game.
After the Bills game.
Right.
It looked like he was trying to play piano.
Hey. There was a ribbon in the sky in his mind. It didn't last that long though. My thing is everybody knew he had a concussion. So not only do you think he had a concussion, you bring him back in because you even told me, it was like, bro, Tua back in the game.
Yeah.
You was even surprised. So don't even
Yeah.
say like. So even you were like, this nigga probably should have been out.
Absolutely, I agree with.
So
I'm talking about the following.
So my thing is like, so we knew he had a concussion. He came back in the game, finished the game. They won the game. Whoop-de-woo. We thinking he's going to at least get tested again, or at least there's going to be some type of different because he's playing Thursday night too. If you thought he had a concussion then, or anybody who thought he had a concussion now, playing 5 games later against a struggling Bengals team who's trying to get a win, trying to make a statement at home on a short week, and they always say Thursday night favors the home team. Come on, bro. And they got a good pass rush. I know I'm the only Cincy fan here, so I got to tell y'all about Cincinnati. They got a good pass rush. You know what I'm saying? You should have saw it in the playoffs last year, but yeah, it's here again. You know what I'm saying? So they set this man up for failure, but my main gripe is the organization in general. This is what I was telling Luke. I was like, that's why my question to everybody too is, why haven't the Dolphins been under more scrutiny over the last 2-3 years? Because you got the Brady, Sean Payton debacle, which is why Brady's getting divorced now. You got the Brian Flores controversy about losing games. And then you got now the Tua concussion protocol. I just saw a commercial this morning before I went to work about NFL talking about player safety, like they did a whole NFL commercial about it. Like they care about player safety and health. Why are they doing that, Shelton? Because of this, it's because of the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, that's it.
This whole organization, bro, what did Stephen A say? As a 9, as a 10. This whole organization's out of order. I'm calling all the references. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit needs, bro. How the fuck? This is on national TV, bro.
Okay. Right.
This is on national TV. You got Tua looking like he fucking was. He just saw the movie South Central.
I mean, but what do you do though if you're the Dolphins? Like if he's telling you this is my back, like if he's
it's not on him. I don't care what Tua's saying, bro.
Right.
The organization has to look out for its players.
But he passes the test though.
He didn't pass that test,
He
bro.
did. They
No,
said
he didn't.
did.
The doctor. Why they fired the doctor? Then?
They fired the doctor because he was hostile during the interview process. That's what they said. They said the NFL said that he was hostile.
Was he black?
It's the same. No, kid. It's the same doctor that said that
he
he was his ankle and his back was hurt. That's why he was fucked up. No, bro.
I'm telling you what
they weren't gonna come out and say that he fucked up like that, right? Because that makes them liable. Because again, like I said, they knew he was concussed in the Bills game and they still let him play in the bro. If you're as an organization and you watch that Bills game, you're not making a call downstairs to say like, hey, bro, it's too high. You know what I'm saying? This is our franchise QB during the franchise year where we're either gonna pay him or let his ass go.
I've seen them call for less. Like people look like they've been hit too hard. They be like, hey, get him out. Go check him on the sidelines. Like I've seen where they stop games to make people leave the field.
I'm not okay, but the part where he comes back though, who stops him from doing that if he's telling
he's
you
supposed to be the, first of all, the head coach just be definitely
he paid attention to the game.
What do you mean? How do you pay attention to the game without your quarterback?
You trying to figure out how to win it. Like you can't, if you asking someone is Tua healthy or not.
Yeah, that's
right. It's all.
Yeah,
like if they tell you yes, then get in. If no, then we keep
I'm
it
talking
moving.
about things. I'm talking about things leading up to the game.
Bro.
I'm talking about the way it leads up to the game, bro. The head coach should be like, is Tua healthy or not in between the Bills game and the Bengals game?
Okay, but we were talking about him leaving this game and going back in, right? First, that you saying that he shouldn't have went back in that game because he looked like he had a concussion.
I'm saying no. I'm saying he finished that game great. Going to the next game, because he shouldn't really went back in the game, but the fact that he finished. I'm saying going into there's been multiple times
he
where they
finished the whole football game. So why would I even be questioning now?
Because he was stumbling. I still want to check in on my
but
nigga.
You finished the game. Like you went back in and you finished the game. Therefore, in my mind, if I'm a coach and I'm preparing for the next week, I feel like when
T.O. played that Super Bowl with that broken leg, you don't think after the game the coach was like, bro, you all right? You think he just like, oh no, you good now? Let's go jog upstairs. You know what I'm saying?
After the Super Bowl, he probably didn't care what they did. It wouldn't matter. I'm just saying, when was somebody supposed to notice? Like it's on Tua not to go in.
It's not on the players, but the players always gonna want to play. That's why they call players.
So who stops him though if he lies?
It's supposed to be between the doctor, the head coach, or somebody on the medical
the doctor
staff.
That's employed by the league. Like there is no like the system is broken. I will agree with that. There is supposed to be some stopgap that keeps him from playing, but there is no blame other than the system. I can't blame the doctor for doing what the league want him to do. I can't blame Tua for being what a player wants to be. I can't blame the coach. Like, there is nobody to point at other than it being a fucked up system.
What are you gonna say, Shelton?
Well, I was gonna say
I don't want to hear any more of this.
I know, right? I was gonna say it's messed up on all parties, but it is what it is at this point. As a coach, you're gonna trust those doctors and what they're telling you. If the doctor tell you whatever they tell you, like he good, all right, well, let's go. You know, you're trying to win a game. You're not sitting here thinking about the humanity side of it as a coach. You're trying to keep your job.
As a first-year head coach, you thinking about that?
Yes. At first year, second year, 10th year, whatever, you're trying to keep your job. You're trying to look good.
But I'm never
So
sending my kids to play with y'all kids.
Everybody's acting on the side of humanity. I'm saying the same thing. You shouldn't have been out there. But at the same time, I'm not going to overrule what the doctor tells me. I don't have that authority in that.
Why you act like doctors are not humans?
And
why you act like what's the reason why niggas say I want a second opinion?
They are.
Because sometimes doctors fuck up.
Of course.
Ask Tyrod Taylor.
100%.
Yeah, I was saying, do he want to see a doctor?
100%. But I'm saying from a coach's standpoint, he's not going to overrule the doctor. He's just not.
Right.
He's trying to win.
But
a
he
game.
a bad coach. I'll say that. That's a bad coach.
That's 32 coaches in the league.
No. I don't give a damn about the number. That's a bad coach. The bad coach who looks at a player who's clearly somewhat concussed and says, no, that's his ankle on his back.
Your job is you are a decision maker.
Right.
And you're supposed to look out, I would think, for the best interests of your players, the organization, et cetera, et cetera. So if you know and everybody can see that this guy is messed up, then sit him.
But see, we're not being realistic. Your job ain't to look out for the best interest of the players. They could care less about players. Let's be honest about it. As a coach, as an organization, you don't care about it. You care about the money.
I ain't gonna go that far.
If the bottom line, if we're undefeated and they're riding high, you thinking about keeping this.
I ain't going that far because Marvin Lewis cared about the players.
Where's Marvin? Coach it?
He goes to Cincinnati. We're talking about this coaching.
No, where is he now?
Yeah, but where does he coach?
No. I'm just saying, when he was coaching, he showed that he cared about the players. A lot of the players cared, off the field and shit like that.
But the point is, they got him fired.
No. What got him fired is that he didn't win.
And it took years for that.
It took years. I mean, and I'm saying he didn't win as far as get to the over the hump. He went to playoff games.
That strategy not gonna keep you in the league long, is what he's saying. Like caring about the players, like what you're saying. Marvin Lewis may have done that. However, he's
what
not
was Miami
employed.
winning before
He's not
this shit?
Right. Right now.
No, I'm saying you said if you're a winning organization, I understand your point. But Miami ain't been shit.
Right. So now,
what the fuck are you?
So you're making.
So
the
you're
point.
saying that
you're making the point.
No, I'm saying the bar is low for my. This is
no. You're making the point.
This is week 4, my guy. This is not a game to get us into the playoffs or win a Super Bowl.
But you're talking. There's only 2 undefeated teams left in NFL.
Who gives a fuck when it's week 4?
Miami Dolphins. You just said
Are we trying to be undefeated in the regular season or the postseason?
Miami Dolphins. You just said it. They want.
And then we're talking about a concussion.
And if the first thing you're hoping is the doctor says it's okay enough to play.
Right.
Does the quarterback? What's more important to a quarterback, his head or his hands?
We talking about the quarterback.
I'm just asking. What's more important?
Now let me get this.
Because we're not trusting Teddy Two Gloves.
Let me clarify. I agree with you. I agree. He should not play.
Came in. Everybody was like, "This game over."
I agree because, like I said, I agree because I saw the same thing you saw. He should not have been out there. If he was my child, I'd have told him, "You sit down. I don't care what they talking about. I ain't trying to hear none of that." But as an organization, when you start thinking from the other side, they don't care about that.
So you should not let your son play football. Then,
if
you okay with head coaches,
so what if it's
no. I ain't say I'm okay with it. I'm saying that's what it is.
No, I'm saying, but that's what we send our kids off to head coaches like you.
I didn't say me.
No wonder that nigga was
I said if it was my son,
but you adopting the culture.
No. I'm saying that's what it is. That's corporations.
So if you were coaching, if you were Mike McDaniels, what would you have done?
If I was him, I don't know. In that situation, I would have to go by what I
see. Don't send him over there, Nick.
Nah, he know he did. He know they was in Miami too.
I don't know.
I'm gonna look at him. Sean have a lot of coach to be like, get his ass back in the game.
I'm monitoring you today. That's what I be saying. But I ain't saying.
I don't think it's one coach in the NFL that would sit him down.
Oh yes,
it was, bro. I guarantee there's 30 of them.
Yeah,
nah,
only 2 of them wouldn't.
I doubt it.
Matt Rule would have put his ass in because he was like, "I'm coaching for my job, my nigga."
Absolutely, I just don't think it's not my decision as a coach. So if the doctor tells me it's okay, I got to go with that.
That just sounds so negligent, bro.
The doctor gives you information. It's up to you on what
You're
you're
the
going to
head
do with
coach,
that
bro.
information.
So,
So,
but that's
I'm
what I'm
trying
saying.
to win. I'm the
He
best
was
team.
he
in
was
the
Bruh,
giving
league
it's
right now.
information, and he was able to sit with that player to see what he
It's
felt
week
about it.
4.
So he trusted what he felt and what the doctor told him.
Right, but that goes to your point. Of
You
being
lose to the
week 4.
Bengals in week 4. How does
when
that
do I
affect your
change?
season?
When do I change it then? So
You-
let's say they do this to me in the playoffs. Do I listen in when I need to win the game and the doctor comes tell me, oh, he can't play? Like, when does it switch up?
It switches up when he's not concussed.
Right.
Okay, so
So,
if he had a
yeah.
concussion
If
later
he's
in the
concussed
season,
in the
he's
game,
still
he's
missing
out.
the game.
He
Bruh.
should miss the game.
Even if me, the coach, I'm thinking, I don't know, but the doctor
He-
told
but
me
the
he
doctor
okay.
said
But
he's
doctor
not-
say
they
but-
will fire you for
But,
that.
No,
but
they
the,
won't.
wait,
No,
the
they
doctor
won't.
says he's not concussed. He's not showing the signs of the symptoms at the time.
If he falls,
So
you
he's
take
not
him out of a
concussed.
playoff
Doctor
game?
lied.
first of all, if it's a playoff game and Tua's falling like that, it ain't gonna be up to the doctor. The NFL gonna call in and be like, "Nigga, if you put that motherfucker back in, that's your ass on."
So why they
televised
didn't?
game. It's a national televised game.
Why didn't
they?
they?
They were
Why
shocked.
didn't they
They
do
were
that?
Why
shocked
didn't
that
they-
this
why
happened.
didn't they stop him?
this time? If that was
Because it was because of bad coaching and bad concussion
It
protocols.
was within 7 days. The league office didn't have enough time to call
That's
them
what it
back.
was.
It was 5 days apart. They didn't have enough. They saw the last game and they was like, "Hold on, this nigga playing?"
The doctor clearly lied about the whole thing. He found a way to approve Tua to play that game, which is why he was fired, which is probably why he was belligerent when he was happening.
Y'all told me to
Because
do
he wasn't.
this.
Yeah, he wasn't the one.
I get
yeah.
that though,
He
but
wasn't
then
the
it
one
ain't
that
my
was.
fault.
I did what y'all told me to
Yep,
do.
I did what you guys.
I'm not saying what they did by firing him was the right thing. Obviously, it was a scapegoat shit. I'm saying the whole organization.
I still think it was the right thing. The one person you should be able to trust
Is a doctor.
is a doctor.
I agree with that.
It's
100%.
in
Nah, I don't
NFL
know about
organizations. So, outside of an NFL organization, you should be able to trust a doctor. You
In this-
can seek second
In this
and
case,
third
it should be
opinions. but-
multiple. It should be. It already was
Yeah,
multiple
the
because
players-
you had an independent
The
doctor.
players should have an
to-
independent doctor.
They
That's
did have an
assigned-
independent
but That's
doctor.
assigned
But I
by
thought
the
the
league,
independent-
though.
Right.
They need
And
a
they had their own
players,
team
NFLPA doctor. They need
NFLPA ain't
someone
shit.
with the players'
Yeah,
interest in mind.
Well, that's the one. That's what they agreed to. So they agreed to this doctor. That's
Yeah,
how the
they
NFLPA
did,
was
but
able to fire him
You're right. You're right.
without
Absolutely.
the approval of the league. This doctor was an approved doctor by the NFLPA and the NFL. So this doctor that they had was independent. Plus, they had the
Supposedly,
Miami
but he
Dolphins
still worked for the league.
doctors. He should have went and seek independent counsel. Now
Facts.
that's what he should.
Well, they
did.
should have independent counsel on site. It ain't got nothing to do.
I'd
with
be
they
like,
hire
no, I'll go get
as
my
a
own.
1099 that day.
I've been at in Alabama with Dr. Andrews or somewhere. I wouldn't be nowhere near
I agree with that.
their doctors.
I agree with that.
Like I don't
100%.
need no independent nothing from y'all because it's not independent.
Well, Rob said he want to holler at you about this, so he looking for you
Ken, let me ask you a
for the
question.
next. You might have to make
Ooh.
an appearance, Mike, or we might have to create a segment just so y'all can talk about this.
Last question about the Dolphins game. Does Tua's injury overshadow a good Bengals win in prime time?
Yes,
Yes, it does. 100%.
Yep,
100%.
because nobody gave a damn.
Yeah, at all at that point. And honestly, who's to say that would have been a Bengals win if he had kept playing? Because he's playing good.
Fuck out of here.
Y'all was not dominating that game, Nick.
No, I'm saying you said win the game. You said he was playing good, like he was balling.
He wasn't balling, but he was moving the ball.
Who Tua?
Yeah, he was playing well. Was
I
he
think
not?
Bengals-
I think the Bengals are still gonna win.
They was
the
gonna
game.
win.
He was
I don't
playing
think so.
well. He
I
was
don't
playing
think so.
well. He was
Bro,
playing
the way Higgins and all that, bro, that shit was going.
Mm-mm.
That was a just do game. They
I
was
don't
gonna win that
think
game. Everybody knew it too.
I picked him.
Ryan Fitzpatrick, best friends with Tua, picked the Bengals.
I
They had a
picked
whole
Bengals too.
segment over before the show started with him and Tua.
Mm.
And they mean shit. They said I know that guy on the other side. That's what
Yeah,
real quarterback.
I think it would have been harder. I do think the Bengals would have won it, but I think having Tua out there would have gave them
advantage.
a way better chance.
Right.
than Teddy.
Because
Teddy almost looked good.
Teddy
though.
looked
He
good that
looked-
first series.
That first series, I
After
thought
that-
was like, because
after that, it
Edmonds
was a
dropped
wrap.
the touchdown.
Yeah.
Teddy put it right on him, and Edmonds just dropped it.
After that, it was a wrap.
threw a
That's why I
pick.
was like, man,
He
idiot.
threw
the
that
wrong
pick.
route. Yeah,
he
wrong
threw
route.
that pick. It was a wrap
Mhm.
after that.
That was his fault too.
Well, it still was a struggle for them to get that win, though. Burrow had to do what he do. Yeah,
So-
4 quarter, man, the guy just, I don't know, something happens.
Mm-hmm.
Now the decision lies on Tua. Would you stop playing football? You wouldn't.
It depends on how he close to the money though, because he need
Go
that
play.
second contract. I always said if I had a son and he was good enough to play in the NFL, I say only play to your second contract, retire after that shit.
He made one hit away, and he can play baseball.
You keep saying that, can he?
Yeah, he real good at baseball.
Mhm.
He was a high baseball.
Then I'll be scared if he. What if a pitcher throw it at his head?
That's likely.
It's a
It's less
wrap,
likely than
bud.
football.
Hey, that
though.
nigga gone,
It's
bro.
less
That nigga
likely than
gone.
football.
Lightning strikes twice.
Yeah, it's less.
Well, let's move on to another primetime game. It was Sunday Night Football. We saw Mahomes go against Brady. Lou, did Mahomes winning on the road against Brady make up for a Super Bowl loss?
No, hell no, absolutely not. I don't think it made up, but you could tell that Mahomes is taking these matchups versus Brady personally, at least in the regular season. He was very determined on the sideline. He was all into it. I feel like that he takes these serious against Tom Brady.
Sheldon, what about you?
Yeah, no, not at all.
Was it an impressive win?
I was impressed with the way he played, but he's like that all the time. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL by far, and he's continuing
Is
to
he?
show
Because
that.
some of y'all niggas be saying Herbie, he may not be the best quarterback even in his own
who said that?
division. Josh Allen is out there. They got him as a front runner for MVP.
I don't know who said. Yeah, of course they do. Yeah, the
And
pundits,
last time I
the
checked,
pundits
they
been
got
all
the
over
same
Josh
record,
Allen.
and they both 3-1.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and Patrick Mahomes is way more impressive than what Josh Allen's doing. But it is what it is.
Josh Allen
But
had to come back win.
But yeah, he had to come back from pretty far, and that was more. I count that more as a Ravens loss than a Josh Allen win. But yeah, he Patrick Mahomes is way up there, and Brady got a lot going on at this point. He got a lot going on.
Man, Brady, bro. Like,
Ken, is he finally done?
I don't know, but he's clearly distracted.
I think the Bucks is done. Once I seen that
and-
divorce shit, it's done.
Yeah, and it's not looking good. It's not looking good. But if that divorce gets settled, then he can lock in, or he may just take it out on the league, sort of thing. You know, heroes narrative that you can see happening. But you know, I think the word I've used earlier this week was discontent. It just feels like he just there.
Yeah,
And he's just kind of going through.
I
the
told
motions.
you, he's the ghost of Brady at this point.
Yep, and that divorce, because I don't think he really thought it would go down like this when he came back. Plus,
I don't think he wanted to come back.
I don't either. After hearing about this whole Miami thing, I think this is him just kind of going through the motions. I think his whole scheme was to somehow be in Miami, and imagine him in Miami with all those pieces. Look at what Tua's doing with him. Imagine you put an experienced veteran like Tom Brady
with that defense
and that defense. They were probably close to another at least playoff Super Bowl appearance.
You bring a Super Bowl to Miami, something Dan Marino ain't even done. They're gonna build a statue with Brady.
So I feel like that was the whole plan, and that shit got fucked up, and he just settled for Tampa Bay, and probably came back to kind of help make that story seem less true.
You think he doing a solid for Todd Bowles?
Nah.
You don't think he fuck with Todd Bowles?
No, like
nah.
He said he did.
I don't think
well,
so.
Not in so many words. He was like, he gonna do his thing with the defense and me and Leftwich. He might be doing a solid for Leftwich more so, trying to get him a head coaching job.
He's not fucking with Todd Bowles, and don't believe it if he say he does.
Yeah,
you know, and I don't know if Todd Bowles has the type of personality that who was the old coach? That
Bruce Arians.
Bruce Arians did. Bruce Arians didn't give a fuck who you are.
Bruce Arians, all he wanted was a cocktail and a bad bitch.
And he wants you to fucking.
But you know what? He's still there, and he's still around. He's always around. I don't know if you noticed that, but Bruce Arians.
It's Florida. That's where white people retire. Of course, he's around.
he get more camera time. Matter of fact, he was in that melee that got Evans suspended. He started it. So he's around. Like, how much control does Todd Bowles actually have?
He was talking shit to the boy from the Saints, and
that's
how he got all into it.
So
he's not even supposed to be on the sideline.
That's what I'm saying. So they had to issue stuff out for him being on the sidelines. But yeah, he's still pulling strings.
He just don't do the day to day.
Yeah. So it's looking ugly, man.
I'm not saying Brady's done. All I'm saying is they ain't gonna do shit this season.
He got the benefit of playing in the NFC South though. Who you scared of, Jeff? The Panthers,
he's gonna win.
The Falcons, the Saints.
I'm thinking more so. This team is a lot more older, long in the tooth than people realize, and it's banged up constantly.
You go 9-8, you get in the playoffs. Now you got to deal with Tom Brady in the playoffs.
He does have a shitball division, but that's always with Tom Brady.
He made a living off
but
of it.
I think like Brady can't go against the defense like the Eagles and walk away with a Brady win. I don't think so. I don't think Brady can go against the defense I don't think Brady can go against Green Bay once again like a defense like that.
Those guys got to stay healthy. And
like he already lost most of his offensive line. That's what I'm saying. Like the pieces around him that is supposed to be solid, they're weak now. So and Brady's obviously weaker mentally and physically. So mentally because he going through a divorce. You know how white women when they divorce, bro, they taking everything, bro. They giving you a
Brady might be
colonoscopy.
the woman. I mean, he might take everything.
She's a supermodel. She know her worth.
But y'all know
if this some white chick from Rancho Cucamonga, yeah, maybe you can get away with it. But nah, this is
she gonna be paying him.
She might pay him.
Yeah, she can make more money than he do.
Nah, she gonna take all that money, bro.
Nah, she got more than him.
TB12 no more. It's gonna be
Giselle 12.
Yeah. She gonna take the number 12.
She gonna take it and ride off with AB.
He gonna change the number to 13.
I think the Bucs still got a solid chance, though.
I mean,
because the division is.
You only saying that because of Brady.
Yeah. You know what's crazy?
I mean,
he was
30. I'm just saying, like, just say, I believe Brady can.
I believe Brady can.
Don't say the Bucs and all the 9 and 8.
He played for the Bucs, nigga.
No, I don't give a fuck. Nah, any team that he would have played with, anybody would say that shit.
But what's crazy is in that game, which doesn't matter because they were getting their head beat in. He was 39 of 52. He threw for 385 yards and 3 touchdowns and no interceptions. The offensive
that game is nowhere near close to that score.
Right.
Don't read them stats to me like that shit, man.
No, I'm saying
there was a lot of garbage time in that game.
Terrible offensive line, no receivers out there.
That game was out of hand way before we got to this. Wasn't it 21-3 at one point?
Yeah, it was. It was bad.
Just imagine when they get healthy.
Patty over here throwing the Salt Bay touchdown passes. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, it was bad.
Don't count Tom Brady out is all I'm saying.
I'm saying it's crazy.
I didn't say Brady's out. I'm saying the Bucs are done. The Bucs is done. The Bucs is done. But Brady gonna be there, but he going through a divorce right now, so he got other shit to worry about.
How's all that shit leaking? Who leaking that shit?
He's dating a supermodel, so she leaking her own shit. She ain't about to let this nigga run this story.
Gotta be because
she going to People magazine. Think about all this shit that's coming out. People magazine, all this.
Then again, it ain't that hard though, because if they living in separate, they got paparazzi on them all the time. So I'm watching you and you watching him. I can tell y'all ain't.
But divorce lawyers, I get they not living together, but
all that shit is public information. But also they can leak shit.
Okay.
All that should be leaked as well. Because people probably going to everyday searching.
Somebody to work in the office or something maybe leaked it, and they go and they probably try.
I was just thinking she's probably just trying to make it. I thought she was just being petty, trying to make it hard on him.
But I believe she's probably doing that too, because he
lied to her.
He probably we don't know that for a
fact.
I was
going
to say the same thing though.
Wait,
who else? When that Miami news came out, who was all shocked? Everybody but Brady. Brady took his ass right back to Tampa. Like he snuck back to Tampa. Like ain't shit happened. Like nigga, we seen that you was in Miami on this kooky shit.
I think even she did an interview saying that shit too.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought that she was just like finally like, you know what? If you ain't gonna give it up,
you know how women are, bro. They do not want to be embarrassed out.
No, there were reports, and I think she did an interview saying that he needs to be done.
He needs to be at home.
And he quit and went right
back. Try
to
do that with your girl. Say you gonna do some shit. You don't do some shit.
And come home. He rather play football to be with his kid.
Man, that first daddy
you see what his kids look like. I ain't going home to that either. I go home to supermodel, but I ain't messing with freaking frat.
He's like, I ain't know y'all after this much stuff. Y'all nagging like I'm out
damn, I really ain't athletic. I ain't shit. He said, I ain't got no future with this motherfucker.
Where's Jeffrey? Get him in here.
Going on to another game with 2 primetime quarterbacks, but this is a early 1 o'clock game. This should have been a primetime game. Mm-hmm. They fucked us up, but Ravens with Bills. Shelton, which loss hurts the most with the Ravens? Being up by 28 to Miami or being up by 17 to the Bills?
These both were the worst losses ever, but I count this one more than anything else because this one was redemption. He was able to it's all comes down to him and Josh Allen. We talk about it all the time. He's the people's champ. We all know that.
Who? Josh Allen?
No, Josh Allen is
our people's champ.
He's the great white hype.
Yeah. Our people's champ is
Lamar. Lamar Jackson is our people.
Yeah, that's
you
our
don't fuck with Lamar, dude.
I do.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you don't fuck with Lamar.
Yeah, I do.
Mm-hmm. You said 3 to 5.
I did.
Go ahead.
We ain't there yet though.
But that's who this was his chance. This was his chance, and he was establishing his dominance early. 20-3. Like I'm killing you. All I gotta do is put 3 points on the board. They
That third and 16, third and 19, he converted.
Yeah, and he was playing a great game, and everything was going in their favor, and they took the foot off the gas and could not get any more points.
Man,
So this one hurt worse than anything else.
Ken called this out at the beginning of the season and put Harbaugh on notice. I wouldn't have believed what I am now.
Ken was the first one this season. I've been calling for Harbaugh
You too
for a while.
I know this on this show, y'all called for his head, and I was really kind of surprised by it. The 2 losses that Lamar has this season, though, are completely his fault and coaching staff fault. Now I'm seeing what y'all seeing now, 100%. He's not. I feel like Lamar Jackson, as good as he is, he could be like 10 times better with a better coach.
Look at we look at all these other teams with their rosters, right? The ones that are contending. Herbert got a squad of like guys you can name. Josh Allen got guys you can name. What's his name? Burrow got guys you can name. Even Derek Carr got guys you can name. Who are we naming on the Ravens squad offensively?
What's the tight end name?
Yeah, Andrews
and Mark Andrews.
We can't even name Bateman.
But maybe that's the reason that he ain't signed. Maybe we got looking at it wrong.
Everybody got at least 2 to 3 guys that you can name.
Yeah.
He got Andrews and Rashad Bateman.
And like I said, Bateman ain't even there yet.
And he really don't know what he gonna be.
And that's the history too. Like they do that in Baltimore. So it ain't maybe ever gonna be anybody that's a big
but nowadays when we talk about high power offenses, bro, you gotta have somebody that can go
you gotta keep up.
So is that on the organization's failure to draft talent to go with him?
Yeah. Well, I don't think that was the reason why they lost this game, but I do think it's been on the organization to draft talent.
And Lamar might be noticing that. That may be another reason why he hasn't signed.
Like you trade away Hollywood Brown, and what are you getting back? Like you ain't get back. You got a second what pick, and you draft another tight end. It's like, come on, like what we doing here?
And he probably looking at it like Harbaugh.
And y'all gave me J.K. Dobbins. Who asked for this nigga? Like, what has J.K. Dobbins done?
He's been hurt.
Yeah. What has J.K. Dobbins done?
He had a good game last week.
He had a good game. He had like one.
He hasn't done anything to answer your question.
Yeah, he's on.
Because we haven't had a chance to see.
I'm just saying, with Lamar Jackson as your quarterback, do you need a running back?
Yeah, he's on the rush for 64 yards this year. You need a good running back.
What?
Yeah, 64 yards this whole year.
He
didn't play. Yeah, he didn't play.
That's right.
I thought he had 100-something yards.
Nah, he had 41 yards.
He had a full body of work this week, and then the week before.
I'm just saying, Lamar already does run it for you. I would say you need weapons on the outside more. You need a running game.
You need a running game, bro.
They don't really have a run game. What run game do they have? I saw this game.
Lamar and
that run game that he had, he coughed up the ball quick.
That was averaging like 100 yards. I think he got 100 yards.
You know what I'm saying? He's fumbling and all this other shit. That don't help him either.
No. You need a running game. You don't want Lamar running like that.
My thing is like the reason why he lost is coaching. You already know how.
Yeah, I agree with
coaching.
The Baltimore Ravens, the first half, like you said, they were dominating. Second half, they came out, they couldn't do anything, and that's from adjustments. That's from being. And then
everybody's talking about that 4th down where they went for the points. So they didn't go for the points; they went for the touchdown.
Yeah,
I put that on Lamar for not making the throw because
I ain't like that play call. You should have.
I didn't like the play call, but if you're in the play, Lamar should at least know as far as the quarterback, just throw the ball away. Don't throw an interception.
Well, that's the thing.
That's how they got on the 20. At least give Josh Allen a long field to go through. Don't put him at the 20.
He was trying to make a play at that point. That's the only reason. It wasn't a good read.
Coach
he had Duvernay open for a minute.
Coach put him in that position.
No, Coach put him.
Coach put him in that position.
It was a bad play call because with Lamar Jackson again, you need to have an RPO in that on the goal line.
Yeah,
give it a run pass option. Give him a chance from the bootleg, do what he does best.
Right.
If you're gonna put him in shotgun, and he's gonna agree to be in shotgun because he could have changed the play. He's a quarterback now. We got
points though.
That's what they should have did.
They could have took the points, but then
especially if you like, and his reasoning behind it, which is more irritating. He said, "Oh, well, I believe in my defense."
They're at home, right?
Can't be true. Because you went for it. If you believe in your defense, you take the points.
You believe in that
put
defense?
your defense on the field.
You believe in that defense?
He does.
I'm asking you, do you believe in that defense?
Nah,
not at all.
I'm going for the points. I don't blame him for going for the points. I blame the play calling.
But
like
Marcus Peters
but at the same time, there was a read right there that he could have went to that he saw late.
What happened with Marcus Peters?
Well, they were saying it was part of that too. Like
he was upset they went for it on 4.
He was. They said he was mad about that. And then he said something to Marcus Peters when he was coming off. He said something.
Harbaugh?
Yeah. And Marcus Peters went crazy.
Nah,
he lost his mind.
What's crazy is that Marcus Peters is shitball now.
Yeah. It's rough back there. In that
Every
secondary.
game they get toward. Matt Jones threw 300 yards on this defense.
So what's the Ravens record? 2-2.
2-2.
Yes.
They face Cincinnati primetime Sunday, y'all.
Yes.
So
Hey, these are some good games.
Well, they were dwindling down. It ain't the 8 now. It used to be. It's a solid 6-5 now.
Yeah.
Ravens on watch.
Ravens on watch,
They
but
gotta be.
but it's on watch
They
for
do have
head
to be.
coach watch.
Well, it's got to be the whole thing.
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, it is, and it has to be because once again, you still got to perform, and it's the second half. But
Closing
they've been
games is a
struggling.
big deal.
Yeah,
Closing game. I don't know how they
come
can't
out
close
hot.
games. How you go up this many
Coaching.
points?
Like
Yeah, that's coaching and
It's
adjustments.
all adjustments.
You got to
Like,
understand that the defenses are going to adjust. The offenses are going to adjust. You have to be ready to make those counter moves.
Your quarterback coming out giving you 300 yards pass and 100 yards rushing, you putting up 20-something points in the first half. Like, what are we doing? Why ain't we winning games? Coach?
Read the super chat by Josh Bro since it's related to the topic we're having. Lamar is my favorite QB in the league, but he has 30-odd yards and was scoreless in the second half on Sunday, so he has to take some blame.
yeah,
Correct.
that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Like he missed a
That's
read.
why. Yeah, that's
They
what
could have
I'm
won
saying.
that game if he throws that pass to Duvernay, they win the game. And we ain't talking about none of this shit.
Yeah, he had a pedestrian game. I think he threw for like 144 yards. He had 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions, but it happens. But at the same time, you got to get like we talked about.
But
you
that
gotta get
first
help.
half makes it seem like we should have won by 40 instead of losing
Yeah,
by 3.
and they like I said, any play would have been a good play. If they had put any points on the board the second half, this would be a different conversation. And that's the biggest thing. And we talk about receivers all the time. We talk about Bateman. Bateman had 3 catches for 17 yards. What is that? You know what I'm saying? Duvernay led them in receiving. I forgot what he had, but it wasn't much. Wasn't like they did much of anything.
And they locked out Andrews.
Not, it's going to sound like a comparison, but it's not. But I hear you saying, like, he's been good up until this point. It's possible we're going to watch and see that Bateman just had a bad game. And I say that because Devontae Adams had a bad game, and he's one of the elite guys. Justin Jefferson had bad games. He is one of the elite guys. So we don't know that about Bateman yet. There's still a lot of unknowns, but it's possible that it was just a bad game in this one yet. So
I think Bateman is a good receiver. I just don't think he ain't nowhere near there yet. He's not.
Yeah.
He's not. Yeah, he's
right.
not.
We don't know if this was a bad game or this is who he is.
Yeah.
You know,
I
because
think
his
it's somewhere
career
in the
just
middle.
his career just getting started.
I think he's gonna be a solid receiver. I do. I really think he's gonna be solid.
With a
But
better head coach, he would be.
Yeah.
Because people forget.
I don't know if he's
Harbaugh was going to get fired if it wasn't for Lamar Jackson.
I can say this. I don't think Bateman will ever be a number 1. He's one of them top tier 2s.
To me,
That's
he's
what
like
he'll
a
be.
Tyler Boyd. Like he can get busy on anybody, but if you put him against the league guy, maybe a toss up 50-50.
Yeah.
You ain't feeling as strong as far as I may go to Andrews because he one of the best tight ends.
Yeah,
if
he's
not
gonna
the
be
best
there.
tight end.
He's
in the
gonna
league.
be there.
He gonna be there. No linebacker can cover him.
But Bateman is not a single name guy. Like, you know, we talk about Devontae. We know who Devontae is. You know, you talk about Cup. You talk about Chase.
Yeah.
These are single name players. Like, we know them.
Chase was getting locked up too.
Yeah,
Wasn't he?
Chase.
But only by the sauce. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you put a
No,
little
I thought
sauce on.
I thought he got locked up in Miami. He only had one big catch.
He had a
one big catch in the fourth quarter.
One. Yeah.
Burrow hit
that
him.
was straight T.
well,
Higgins.
they said the game plan that the Miami's game plan, which came out, was that they doubled Chase and Boyd and they left Higgins 1-on-1. That's why Higgins went off.
You hear that, y'all? He shooting them some bell.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's what it
Lot of
sounds
bells. Sound like a whole lot of bells. Man. See, the game, but you know what they were trying to do was.
And you heard he say they got the game plan too.
All I'm saying is if you watch the Bengals and you watch these interviews, they all know, all 3 receivers know, like there's
So
gonna
y'all
be
did
some, there's
record
gonna be
that.
some games.
Right.
Y'all
so
did
you
record that practice.
So you are admitting to the recording of the practice.
That's what it sounds like.
I mentioned the video that
As
of
he
the
said,
interview.
when we got the game plan.
I said that it came out afterwards. I ain't getting me on shit. Nonetheless, everybody can't eat. It's only one football. All right. Chase ain't have a great game this week. Okay. Big whoop. He had a tutty last weekend against the Jets.
That's fair.
He gonna have something again. We're gonna get to these picks as we go into transition.
Ooh.
Since I brought up Cincinnati, Baltimore, the 2-2s are playing this week in prime time. But let's get to these weekly picks as far as our overall scores. Week 4 was interesting. Some people had really good records, and somebody had a shitball record.
FIFA had
Unlike most things, we start with the worst, the best. Well, the worst is first. Spike Lou.
Ooh.
You went 1-5. My
Oh my
Damn.
God.
1-5.
How did I go 1 and
Man,
5?
You got to bring that color code.
Yeah, that
sheet
can't
back.
bring that chart back.
This nigga offline for real. His picks is off.
Oh man.
Cause nigga, you picked the only game you got was Cincy.
Mm.
Everything else you lost.
I ain't gonna talk about it too bad because I can't play this game either.
But now Ken, you actually you were 5-1. You were 5-1. Shelton was 5-1 as well. And me and FIFO, we was 500. We
I can tell you the game
3-3.
we missed. Well, I know we picked. I think we
I
both
don't even
picked,
remember my picks.
we both picked Baltimore to beat.
Yeah, that was the one.
I don't know, we've been 6-0.
Damn.
If Baltimore had
No. You picked
I didn't
Baltimore.
pick Baltimore.
He picked Buffalo.
Oh,
Yeah, I picked Buffalo.
The
Yeah,
game
I
was he picked who
I lost the
Denver.
Rams game.
Yeah, it was the Raiders Denver game. You picked Denver.
Oh yeah, that was the one. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I knew the Raiders were gonna get on the board.
I don't remember what we picked.
But overall,
Oh, I'm gonna drop the hold on. I gotta drop because I forgot to do it last week, y'all. This is what happens.
Give them a chance to.
When the producer misses a show. But I'm gonna drop the form in so y'all can participate as well. Hold on. Drop that in
I
the,
meant to bring that up too. I wanted to get their picks when as well, so they could be a side representation.
Yeah.
But overall, we got Sheldon at 18-11, Ken 15-14, FIFO 15-14, Lou was 11-18, and I'm 12-16.
Ken done battled all the way back.
Yeah, he tied up.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what isn't tied up, man. We them boys whooped my ass in fantasy this week. God damn.
I'm 1-2, bro.
I'm 1-3, man.
Bro, I went receiver heavy with the wrong guys.
Your boy's undefeated.
Who you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Sheldon's undefeated.
That's the only undefeated he gonna feel this whole season.
My pick's been good, and I'm undefeated.
Yeah, no,
It's all right for right now. We only a week for it.
And the Eagles undefeated.
It's early. That's how he coached too. That's how Tua got fucked up. Look,
Oh, man.
we've been winning. We winning.
Hey, I just want to get to the playoffs. It don't
Me
matter.
too. Shit, that's all I can
Get
hope
to the
for at this
playoffs is
point.
on.
But week 5, we're going to week 5. We only have 5 games this week. As far as games that I think people actually give a fuck about. First one is Chargers versus Browns. This is a redemption game for me with Herbie. So that's I'm going with Cleveland, but
In Cleveland?
yep, in Cleveland.
My next.
How come? Yeah, go ahead.
Give me the Chargers.
You gonna pick the Chargers, yo? No, Sheldon, who you got?
Oh, man. Give me the Chargers.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Chargers as well. Bounce back game for Herbert. Brissett.
What you mean bounce back? He beat Houston.
Yeah, that's true. He ain't really beat nobody. But
He almost lost today.
the Browns are nobody either. So
Yeah.
we're gonna take them out. I mean, they got hyped because they beat they beat Trubisky. The awful Steelers team.
Eagles versus Cardinals. Who you got, Lou?
Eagles.
Everybody going Eagles?
Yeah.
Cardinals look awful.
Cliff Kingsbury.
You go Eagles, Ken?
Which one is this?
Eagles at
Chargers.
Cardinals.
Cardinals.
Yeah, Cardinals are bad.
Kingsbury has looked awful.
Yeah.
From
The only
coach
thing
perspective.
saved him was he's coaching with
Kyler
Matt
Murray.
Rule.
No, the only thing that saved him was the
Yeah.
ownership. They gave him a contract extension at the top of the year. And he
Yeah,
ain't doing shit.
Watching
with it.
him and
They
Matt.
don't know
I
better.
watched that game. I said, let me watch this game.
I'm checking on the form, by the way.
That was one of the worst games I've seen. Like watching.
Professionally coached football
Yes.
games. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm looking at
I
I'm like,
saw-
Carolina is a joke.
I saw a stat that said Matt Rule is 1-27.
26 or 27.
1-27 in games decided by
By
17
17
points.
No, teams when the other team scores more than
Oh, excuse me.
17.
Yeah, when they score
That's
over
what make it
17
even worse.
And
points.
he's
That's
24 and he's gone
crazy.
for 24 straight losses, I think.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
It's a joke.
To
It's
still have a
it's
job
joke
is nuts.
because the defense is
And his
really,
owner was just complaining about some stuff the other day.
yeah, the defense is nice. Now they got them
Yeah,
the
what is it
defense
called?
get after
Snow
it.
Patrol.
Is that what they
Yeah,
are?
they
I
got
don't know.
they got a nickname and everything. Snow
Yeah, them
Patrol.
cornerbacks is nice, and you got Jeremy Chin as a safety. They got a nice defense. It's just the offense is nothing nice.
Baker Mayfield. Trash.
Baker's what Baker always
Trash.
been. Baker's Baker.
Trash.
And Sam Donald's the other option.
You know what's interesting? While we talking about that is I was reading on the Athletic. They were talking about Matt Rule. They were talking about Baker and the number of tip passes and stuff that he has, which it's not
ridiculous.
But I'm thinking that shit. Does Kyler Murray have that many?
No.
So what is the issue?
Well, they said that was specifically a part of their game plan going in. They wanted to bat his balls down like basketball.
I think that's what everybody's game plan is.
Kyler finds lanes, which
they've been seeing something on the table with Baker.
I know a smaller quarterback. Well, he used to be a quarterback. He went to the league as a wide receiver, but he was a smaller quarterback in college. And I'm like, man, how do you see over them linemen? Your linemen are 6'5", 6'6", and he told me it's all about the lanes. And he talked about getting in the pockets and finding those spots to throw. And he was like, that's what makes a Kyler Murray successful at doing what he does.
Russell Wilson say that. Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, those guys are not tall enough to get the ball over the line. So you gotta pick those lanes and get in position to throw. Baker does not do that whatsoever.
He's not good enough to do that.
No. And J.J. Watt had a field day. J.J. Watt probably batted down about 5 or 6 balls himself.
J.J. Watt should be happy that he's even alive. That motherfucker had to put out
right.
His heart get restarted to play that damn game.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I ain't never heard a motherfucker say I had to get my heart restarted. Yeah, you got something. Quick before we go to the next one, next pick. Monday Night Football, Rams versus Niners. That's a game that I'm never gonna pick Jimmy G.
I think I was the only one that picked. No,
you weren't the only one. You weren't the only one.
Ken did too.
Who did I pick? Did I pick the 49ers?
You picked the full. Did you pick the 49ers?
I think
you did. That was the only one you got.
That was the only one I got.
That was the only one you got. The reason why I wanted to bring up that game was because watching that game, it makes me realize why. The same reasons why I hate the credit or like the praise that Cooper Rush is getting right now. Same reason why I feel like I hate the same praise that Jimmy G got after that game. Because it goes to lose point as far as like, see, when Jimmy G's in, they start winning games.
They're the best.
You look at his stat line though. You look at if anybody watched that fucking game. This man was what he threw for like 239 yards with 1 touchdown, 16 for 26. Percentage wise, he's under 60% passing. So he already shows you that he a shitball accuracy wise. And second of all, you take that Debo pass that should have been picked. If it should have been picked or tipped at least.
Yeah.
If that corner was at least 1 inch taller, you know what I'm saying? It's a whole different thing. And then if Debo, first of all, horrible tackling by the Rams. Jalen Ramsey is looking like a fucking
big effort though by Debo. That was bad tackling, but the effort.
I'm saying Debo is Debo.
Okay.
I'm just saying still
everybody
he
ain't
got
taking
through.
that
That's
to
what
the
I'm saying,
house.
bro. No one's not like only Debo's taking that to the house.
Yeah.
Anybody else like you getting tackled somewhere. Yeah. But that just shows you how great Debo is. But I'm still saying, bro, that's still bad tackle. You see niggas bouncing off him like, come on, bro. Jalen Ramsey, you supposed to be the all-pro that everybody talk about. Top 5
get paid to tackle.
He don't get paid to tackle.
Aaron Donald is the only thing they had going on defense. Period. Aaron Donald was wreaking havoc like he always does.
And then that San Francisco defense is amazing, bro.
Yeah, and they were missing some pieces.
It was amazing, and I didn't know Andrew Whitworth was that valuable at his age as a left tackle.
Mm-hmm.
But it's night and day with that Rams offensive line because we can go back to the game week 1 against the Bills. They look like, bro, if you have any type of pass rush, it's a wrap.
And that interception was amazing. The way he baited him.
It wasn't even a bait. We knew it was going to Cup.
Yeah, but the way he read it and came off the line like that.
He threw it to him 22 times.
Matt Stafford doing what Matt Stafford
and I knew he was going to do it.
In Detroit.
Somebody called it.
I
was watching Keyshawn, Jay, and Will.
Yeah.
Mostly for
Max.
Okay. Yeah, Max, Jay, Keyshawn, whatever. And there was one white dude, I forgot he said it today, but he said that shit. He was like, bro, we watched the game of the most overrated quarterbacks in the NFL. Matt Stafford, he is what I thought he was. If you put him in the best situation to win, he can win you a game.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's interesting because the Niners corner, the Rams corner didn't do what the Niners corner did.
Exactly.
But it's press coverage, and first of all, McVay, why are you calling that screen? 2, why didn't you have a check down if you saw press coverage to get into something else? And 3,
you have other receivers.
Yeah, and 3,
you wouldn't think so.
Everybody in the world knows you throwing the Cooper Cup. Like I think there's even stuff on YouTube that's saying that the Rams receivers, he throws the Cooper Kupp so much that the Ram receivers don't even really run their routes that hard because they know they're not getting the ball.
They're not even going. He's not even looking at them.
So and that's why I'm like McVay, like you said, like first of all, is Allen Robinson good? Because Peyton Manning
getting paid like it.
Peyton Manning was saying that he's talented. So if he is really that good, McVay, why isn't you getting him going? You know, so.
But is this what Matt Stafford do? Because he did it in Detroit too. He also throw them.
No,
he used to force the ball to Megatron all the time.
Well, Megatron was Megatron. Cooper Kupp ain't Megatron.
I mean,
no, I like
that's
not.
My thing is because I mean he could have if he threw that up, the corner would
have.
No,
I just mean I think he's developed that tendency to do that.
My thing with Stafford is that they was a fourth seed. It was the Super Bowl was the battle of the fourth seeds. So it was teams that caught fire late. It wasn't like he was throwing picks last season too.
He threw picks towards the end of the season when OBJ came in and they were working him to the offense.
Well, he's starting off how
there's no OBJ and nobody can get open.
Yeah.
So it's almost like
the game plan got to create that.
McVay. I'm talking about McVay because, and I mentioned this in our chat, when you look at the playoffs, his play calling was horrible. They couldn't run the ball, and then what the plays they were calling were bad. And even if I'm trying to remember the Super Bowl when it
was 6-3 versus the Patriots,
when OBJ went out, they couldn't move the ball offensively.
And they went Cup heavy.
And the last drive, he just went to Cup, and they made plays and won the game. It's in all three of those game-winning drives that he won in the playoffs. So, but offensively, McVay, man, I don't know, y'all. I don't know.
I'm there with you. It seems like the offense just doesn't look. It don't pop like it used to. I don't know what changed. Whitworth maybe, like you said, Odell, but it just doesn't look the same. They look bland. It looks
and their running game is so awful. It's showing now.
The running game is not good anymore. Because their offense is dependent on their run game. Like everything sets off their run. Like all their sets are tight. Everything is motioned off the run. Like it doesn't look right. And it didn't look right for a long time. To y'all's point, to Ken's point, I don't think the Rams. They're going to struggle a lot. But to my point, what you were saying, Ken, about the 49ers being the best team with Jimmy G in, I feel like it makes their coach Shanahan more familiar with what he can and can't do. Mm-hmm. With Lance, he didn't have that familiarity, and we didn't know. It was up in the air for me, at least, to feel like what they were going to do for the season. Now he got Jimmy G in here. He know I can't do too much. I know my limitations, and I feel like that kind of keeps Shanahan where he needs to be so he don't get up 28-3 and lose a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
so that's why I like them to be the best team.
It's funny, because people calling out about that. But it's funny, watching the Manning cast, which is great, by the way.
Yes,
they were saying things about Jimmy without saying. They were like decision making is what they were referring to. They were like, just got to make good decisions here, and stuff like that. Like so, yeah. And there was one throw, I think Stafford missed somebody, and then there was something else. I think the one he threw high and outside, it was like, well, you got to do it because of the place, because of the location of the receiver and the defender. But it was one throw. I can't remember what it was. Peyton looked like he was just disgusted.
Yeah. He hate bad football, boy. That's why I like watching that, man.
He was just disgusted. And it was just a simple play. It wasn't anything special or anything. It was just like, oh my God, like what the hell? Like if I was out there, I would have made that play. But they be on that shit, bro. They know all the plays, everything, the situation, everything,
for a
bro.
Reason. Next game, Bengals versus Ravens at Baltimore.
That's it. He missed the running back. It was the running back. The running back was wide open. He was coming out late, and he could have just hit him on the run, and he went to the tight end. That was it. What's the picks? Ravens? Who?
Bengals.
Ravens. Who you got, Ken?
Bengals, Ravens?
At Baltimore.
Oh, shit.
Both need a win. Division game, too.
No, give me the Ravens.
You going to Ravens?
Yeah, I'm going to Ravens.
I'm going Joe B, man.
I don't blame you.
I'm going Joe B.
You going Joe B? Going with the white boy?
I know. Since LSU, man, I just fuck with him, bro.
I do like Joe Burrow.
Hey, the way he came in with that Miami game, hey, that suit.
I didn't see it,
bro. Go ahead and see it, bro. Who you got, Shelton?
Ravens.
Your ass will pick the Ravens.
Now last week I picked Bengals. You told me not.
I don't
to
like
pick
when you pick. It was a lose for you this time. You could have picked the Baltimore or Cincinnati. I was gonna hate the pick.
Either way you go.
Yeah, I was gonna hate the pick. Obviously, I'm going Cincinnati.
Bro, what the fuck is this?
Hey, bro, he got confidence, bro. He got white boy confidence. I respect it.
What is that?
Oh my God!
It was because of Miami.
He been hanging around Westbrook too much.
That's a crazy prank.
He been hanging around Cuddy too much.
Holy shit.
Next game is Raiders versus Chiefs at Kansas City.
Chiefs.
Who you got, Shelton?
Chiefs.
You
Yeah,
said
this
Raiders
is
or
to be
Chiefs?
unanimous.
What, you ain't giving no shot to
Derek
Bro,
Carr.
the Adams card
Derek
combo?
Carr threw the ball 37 times Sunday. You know how many yards he passed and he had? 144.
You a damn
I
lie.
promise you. Look it up.
Wait, say that again.
144 yards passing on 30 plus attempts.
I gotta see
And
that to
140
believe.
of them was to Devontae.
And most of them went to Devontae Adams in a win.
Hold
Raiders
on,
trash.
Because they won that game, right?
They won.
That was their win.
Mhm.
How did they score 32?
I don't
Oh
trust
yeah,
Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs,
Josh Jacobs
Jingleheimer
He
Schmidt
put him on
went
his
off,
back,
bro.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
he had 188 passing yards.
He had
Put him on
180
his
off of
back.
34
But Jacobs,
passes.
Jacobs, I don't trust Jacobs to do that. Every
He
week.
averaged
Not-
5.5
not again.
yards a pass.
Jacobs
I mean, he'll
can't
do it
do that
again,
every
but it
week.
won't be this week.
Jacobs is on a contract here. He
Yeah,
has
he
to
gonna
do that
do-
again.
He gonna do it, but he can't.
It
do
ain't
it
gonna
every
be
week.
back
I
to
can't
back.
depend on it every week.
It ain't gonna be
Derek
back to
Carr
back.
throwing the ball 30 times and can't even give me 150 yards. Something wrong.
That's true.
There's something wrong.
He ain't the
bro.
QB.
Like, what's going
He's a nice
on,
guy,
bro?
but he
Yeah,
ain't the
cool,
QB.
but, like, come on.
We have, before we go to that, one more. Well, not one more, but I did have a question because Lou, you brought this up. We had this conversation in the chat again about Mike Tomlin,
Okay.
and we just now recently saw that he started Kenny Pickett,
Yes.
and he threw a Pickett in his first
Three
game.
of them.
Threw three of them.
Three of them.
His three
one was a
incompletions.
Hail
Context,
Mary.
though, ended then
and
one
one
was
was
a tip.
tipped.
Yeah, his
so
three
context.
incompletions were all
context is very
interceptions.
important.
I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Context is very important.
You said Mike Tomlin has the most secure job in
Absolutely.
the NFL. Why do you say that?
One is because the Steelers usually don't change football coaches. If you go from the 70s to Cowher to Tomlin, I think they've had three over the last 40 years.
Mhm.
That's one. And two, Mike Tomlin doesn't really do anything to get fired. Like, he's not salacious. Even with the Antonio Brown stuff a couple years ago, that's probably as hot as it's gonna get, and he handles that well. He has a good relationship also with the Roonies, and I'm not saying that makes him invincible, but the only other person comparable I feel like in the seat would be Belichick, and Belichick relationship with ain't the same. Like, I'll let you go, bro. Like, if we find something new and hot to keep the Patriots going, I feel like he will replace Belichick before the Steelers are just riding out with Tomlin. Up, down, it doesn't matter.
Once Belichick tried to get rid of Brady, and that
ruined his relationship.
I think Kraft is way more willing to be like, all right, versus Tomlin. Tomlin just gonna be there like Cowher was.
I'll say the most secure job is Andy Reid, Kansas City. That's more secure than Tomlin because Tomlin, bro, the Pittsburgh, they won a Super Bowl, bro.
But they ain't firing nobody, like you said.
No, I get that, but they about to
anybody.
be close to firing this nigga, bro.
Nah,
Mm-mm.
you got to judge Pittsburgh.
I'm
by
not saying they're
Pittsburgh.
gonna close to firing
It's
him like
different.
this season. I'm just saying like his seat ain't that secure.
Yes,
Because
it
they
is.
gonna add. They
This
gonna
man
add.
ain't
Bro,
had
they
a
gonna
losing
add.
season
But
in
you
how
can't name
many
another
years?
The
coach
city.
that
The city.
has-
You talk about.
He's never had a losing season.
Yeah.
He
The
gonna
city,
have one this year.
He ain't
but-
got no
He
winning
might have one
season.
this year.
When last
They
time they
looking
won?
He ain't losing.
Yeah.
I ain't losing.
How many times you gonna deal with a nigga like that?
I heard him telling the story on the pivot, and he talked about wanting to hire Brian Flores after the Miami situation. And he was telling the story, and he was like, "Yeah, so I went and walked in Mr. Rooney's office, and everybody on there was a male." Like, wait, what? He was like, "You went and walked in the owner's office?" Like, nobody, they were saying, usually even has access to the owners like that. And he was like, "This is what I do. Like, me and Mr. Rooney," and I'm not saying that saves him or whatnot if you're not winning. I'm just saying that their relationship and their organization is different. Nah. Tomlin seemed like he authentic, bro.
I didn't say he wasn't.
Still
But
is
I'm just saying,
different, bro.
Mr.
They
Rooney
different. That's
probably-
a
Mr.
different
Rooney-
organization.
They
Yeah.
completely different. They've always been that way. They move by their own rules.
I'm just saying, I see I be reading the street, but the tea leaves, bro.
Nah.
I listen to the
Tea leaves
streets.
are wrong.
I
this
listen to the
time.
streets. Some,
Your
them,
tea leaves
them,
are
fa-
wrong.
them fans of Pittsburgh, they be like, bro, this nigga ain't won a playoff game in about umpteen
Bro,
amount of time, and we only won 3 playoff games in the last 10 years.
Man, that's crazy. Their next 4 games against the Bills,
It's rough.
Oh my
the
God.
Buccaneers, the Dolphins. When Tua probably
You can't
back.
keep losing
The
in Pittsburgh,
Eagles.
bro.
You can with a rookie.
You can. You got
And
a
you-
rookie
and you
quarterback.
could-
He looks promising.
Yeah,
It's
that-
cool.
yeah,
I
that
got
rule-
young
tell
running
that to,
back. I got JJ Watt, brother. Like I got everything.
You thinking
in
like
line.
the
Just give me
media,
a year, bro.
This Pittsburgh. Now, what I will say is,
what about Anthony Lynn? Anthony Lynn thought his job was safe too. With a rookie.
Anthony
Nah.
Lynn?
No, that's not the same thing.
He had a rookie QB.
I
He
think
was terrible
I
at
think
his job, though.
Yeah, that's not the same thing.
Tomlin and Bill are straight
Yeah.
where they are.
Yeah.
Most other organizations fold under pressure. That's why you think the Rooneys are the only ones that really have a black coach like that.
Yeah.
They're the only ones interviewing, talking about that because they have that like this, not legacy isn't a word, but like the Rooneys, they're like, I can't think of what the word. Yeah, something like that.
Were
Yeah.
they black
Now
whispers?
what I will say is that old guard will go out, and it depends on what the younger generation
You
does.
already
So
know
the
what the
young
youth is about.
owners, and they may move a
if they
little
have
bit
sons or
different.
something to come in because they are like he's trying
And I
to say
heard
they
those
are
sons.
more traditional. Like their money it wasn't fast paced money. Like most NFL owners now, probably other than Jerry Jones, got their money like fast and they want quick results. The Rooney's money, like I think they're the lowest as far as revenue. They got the lowest amount of money that they make or net worth at 500 million or something like that. I say that to say all of the rush and to judgment and the other stuff, like Ken was saying, that other organizations do, it just doesn't happen in Pittsburgh.
They don't listen to outside noise, but the new kids
They
may
might.
move a little bit
Yeah,
different.
maybe
All I'm
different.
saying is, bro.
So if they take over in the next couple of years, because the Rooney's are like 90 something.
Yeah,
they are,
yes.
like the people that own their team. Are
Right.
like
So
90.
the young kids, the kids they have, if they take over, they may be a little bit less impatient than the old guard are.
Yeah.
But by then, I think Tomlin will either
He's done
leave or
anyway,
go on
right?
and do something else.
Nah.
I think what helps him out a lot is the fact that Big Ben is gone, and they understand that there will be a transition period. So he probably bought him some new time.
He did, and now you've rushed the development of Kenny Pickett. They weren't planning on playing him this year.
Yes, they were.
We
Yeah, they
figured
were.
at some point
Yeah,
he
they
was
were.
going to get out there. Not this early.
Yes,
Right.
they were. Yeah, we did.
No,
Yeah, they
Nah,
were
not
hoping.
this
No,
Bro,
they,
it was
they were
Mr.
hoping.
Biscuit. What was he going to
No,
They
no,
were
no, no.
hoping that
That's
Trubisky was
what
gonna
you're
hold.
saying. But
Yeah.
the plan was
Everybody got a plan to get punched in the mouth.
I understand, but they really, really did not want to play Pickett.
They didn't.
But what's interesting is what the players are saying about this dude. Have y'all seen that? Man, they love the fact that this dude gonna take shots down the field.
Yeah.
And the OC was less inclined to call certain plays because it was Trubisky.
yeah.
But this guy, that's why one of those interceptions, the one that was tipped, Kenny Pickett got in the huddle. He was like, man, if y'all deep, I'm throwing it. He said, I'm gonna chuck it down there.
Pickett might be a dude, man.
And they liked it. I think they are.
Don't try to sell me on Pickett.
I'm not trying to sell you on Pickett, but I'm saying that Deontay Johnson seemed like he was really excited that Pickett is about to start.
Yeah.
I think what that's telling me is that they know what we all know.
They've seen something.
Trubisky
is not
ain't
it.
that guy,
dude.
and they
He's
knew
not
it
it.
when they signed him.
Ain't that dude. Why you don't like Pickett?
I'm not saying I don't like Pickett, but I'm just saying don't try to. He's the best quarterback out of this draft, and that's not saying a lot.
Oh, it wasn't a good QB draft. So I
still think he can be
shit.
good.
I remember nobody thought Big Ben was gonna be shit.
Right.
I was like, who the
Average.
Big Ben?
Yeah.
Miami, Ohio. Yep.
Yeah, get the fuck out of
I
here.
think Pickett might be all right.
So we don't know, but sometimes it is. Sometimes
One
it
of
are
those
those.
picks,
There
yeah.
are those guys like the Josh Allens and Big Ben. But
I'll say there's two teams we don't know about as well. That's the Colts versus the Broncos.
Oh my God.
You got in this.
Hey, we got to pick this
Why
guy.
are we picking this game?
This game because I want to know if Russell really this bad, bro.
he
is,
is,
he's
man.
got a-
Bro, I
it
can't, but I don't want
is
to
it
believe
in
it because I'm
Denver?
watching them like, bro, everything.
He's got an injury.
everybody-
Is it in
shoulder,
Denver
too.
or is it in
It's in
Indianapolis?
Denver. And I also want to know if Matt Ryan is really done.
Yes,
Yeah, Matt Ryan is.
Nah, right, Trey.
he's been done for the last couple of years. We
I thought he was
made
good
it.
in Atlanta.
There have been right. There's been excuses made because of the pieces. Now we see.
Yeah,
The same thing with Russ. We've
Yeah.
made excuses for everything around him. Right, man. I think it's Russ, bro.
it might be Russ.
So who you going with this?
Give
This
me
is
the Russ,
ugly.
man. Give me that's ugly. Give me the Broncos though, since they at home.
I'm going
That's the only
Broncos
reason
too.
I'm
Who you
picking
going with, Ken?
Colts.
Who you going with, Shelton?
That was crazy, man.
Broncos. Russ. It was a question of whether Russ was going to play though.
This week?
Yeah,
If Russ not playing, give me the Colts.
he had a shoulder injury.
The Broncos are bad. Russ don't look good. Russ hasn't looked good in a minute.
Russ gonna play.
He was all right the
then-
first quarter. Like I think he went like what started 7 for
And then
7,
they lost
something like
their Javonte Williams is out for the year.
Yeah, but he wasn't
So-
doing shit anyway.
And the
this
coach
year.
defense coming on.
And then
too.
the coach is bad. It's looking like
Yeah,
so.
the coach is. But actually, give me the Colts. Yeah, give me the
Damn, I
Colts.
ain't mean to talk to you into
Yeah, he
change.
talked
I just
about
thought about that, man. Give me the Colts, man. Jeez. Because their defense is starting to look good. I like
I might go
Leonard.
Indy as well. Damn, I ain't know.
Dang, because they ain't. Yeah, the
I'm
I
going-
talked about the Broncos not scoring no points.
Yeah,
I like
I'm
Leonard.
going Indy. Sheldon, you can let me know before we get to our last pick. And our last pick right now is. So you gonna let me know right now?
Go ahead. I'll let you know in a minute.
Okay. Cowboys versus Rams.
Jeez.
All right, Lou. This is like this.
Hold on.
Show this is
Let me
Lou's
get- let me-
corner.
Let me get Q's super chat. Damn. Oh no, it's his tweet. Not tweet. What the fuck? I sound old as fuck. His comment. Dak done.
Oh my God.
Dag's done. All right, Lou. If Cooper Rush beats the Rams and or the Eagles,
Mhm.
will Dallas be forced to keep him as the starter? Give you up this. Granted, the next two games against the Rams and Philly, they're both on the road.
No, it's not going to be any scenario where he's staying in at quarterback. However, what may happen if Dak comes in and struggles like he did in that first game, people going to want him to
I heard he
come
can't really
back.
grip the ball right now either.
People going to want him to come back in, Cooper Rush, if Dak struggles. And I'm talking about make a half. Like a game is all it's going to take would be like, oh, people want Cooper Rush back in there. But he's definitely going to get his opportunity because, of course, money. And it's Dak. He has the talent. Like Cooper Rush has been able to keep us in games. He would, if he had to win a game, he wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah.
The defense has been able to keep us in the games. Cooper Rush not making mistakes. The running game has been great. The play calling has been good. So when Dak comes up, that's supposed to enhance. If it doesn't enhance, then people are going to be calling for Cooper Rush to come back in the game.
Yeah, Cooper Rush is doing what the 49ers want Jimmy G to do,
Yes.
which is control the ball.
He's
Don't
doing
turn
what
the ball
Jalen Hurts
over.
does.
And,
That's my
it.
thing. Is like, has Cooper Rush thrown an interception?
I don't think so.
Oh no, I think he had
he threw
two.
a
Didn't he
pick.
have two?
He threw a pick when he first came in, I think, when when Dak got hurt, if I'm not mistaken. Somewhere in
Let
there.
me double check that. But
But-
go ahead, Shut my bad.
But that was it. I think that what he's doing is admirable, but most of that is on coaching too, because they put so much on Dak to try to win these games instead of trusting what they're good at and getting the ball in the hands of the playmakers and letting them make
Yeah,
plays.
it's-
But Dak has to not make them.
He hasn't thrown an interception yet.
Yeah,
I didn't think
So
so.
like that's better than Jimmy
good
G.
decision.
Yeah.
Making. Good decision making. And it's okay again for him because they're not asking him to or expecting him to be a superstar.
Mhm.
When Dak comes in, the expectation is 320 yards, 3 touchdowns, 20 for 35, something
Yeah.
of that nature. You don't expect that out of Cooper Kupp. So
Right. Cooper Kupp get you 200
Cooper
yards.
Rush.
I mean, Cooper
They call him Rush
Yeah,
Hour.
sorry, Cooper Rush.
They say it's Rush Hour.
Yeah.
Rush hour.
Yeah.
But I just,
200
as long as Mike McCarthy can continue to call for the play call can continue to stick to the same
Mhm.
when Dak comes back, then it will be straight.
Right.
You ain't answered my question.
What? No, I said Dak gonna get his job back.
Even if he beat the Rams and
Period. It don't matter.
Yeah, he gonna get his job.
He
back.
can win every game that he plays. Sort of, Dak is gonna get his job back when he's ready.
that's what Romo said too.
Romo was old and still hurt. Cooper Rush is not talented enough to keep Dak off the
No.
field.
That's funny because I thought everything was fine, and now all of a sudden he can't grip the football anymore.
You saw that? I saw that.
Jerry Jones didn't
That
say
shit-
that, but
that
that's why he
shit
should have
changed.
just
That
kept
was-
his
that
mouth
was
shut.
clever
Yeah, that's why he
positioning.
should have just kept his
And
mouth
I
shut,
think
man.
Jerry want to be like, let me see him play these 2 games, bro.
Yeah,
Let me
but
see
that
if
still
we
ain't
can,
gonna
if we
do
can
nothing.
come out
Bruh.
these 2. If we can split, I think if he said if we split, I'm gonna leave this nigga
3-0. They not going back to that.
You can't
They
argue
going back
against
to that.
undefeated.
You can't. You can't. However, they're gonna argue against it when Dak is ready.
The only
They'll
reason
keep pushing
I
it
don't
back.
I don't give a fuck
They might
about
even
Dak at
push it
this
back
point.
to the bye week.
And I don't give a
Also-
fuck about Dak at this point because he got his money. He gonna get paid.
And the league is gonna adjust. If you keep Cooper out there if you want to, you
That's why I was also gonna bring up like they starting to get game film on. Like
Yeah.
it's only what they get game on you by what 3-4 games.
right. Cooper Kupp is
By the time
Cooper-
Philly get his
Cooper
ass,
Rush.
it's gonna be a wrap.
Cooper Rush is still Cooper Rush.
Yeah.
And people forgetting that.
There's a reason why he's a second round pick in the back.
And there's a reason why they cut him at the
He
end
was,
of
he
the
was
year.
bagging groceries.
They
Right.
cut him.
They did cut his ass.
Yeah, and they were bringing they brought him
Putting him
back.
on the
You know,
team.
they brought him back as a backup. He's a really solid backup. But if he got to be in that limelight, once these defenses pick up, it's gonna be.
Yeah, I forgot. He
sledding.
almost threw 2 picks in that
Mhm.
game. They just
Yeah.
called it off.
Yeah,
But
that's
Dak,
what you're gonna
Dak
see.
will definitely get his job.
That's
back.
closer to what Cooper Kupp really is gonna be than this stuff we seeing now.
Dak will
After
get
they
his job.
catch up.
I don't know if he'll keep it, but he'll get it.
All right.
Who y'all got then? I'll start with you.
Man, that's a tough one, boy.
Cowboys.
And this is in LA, right?
Yep. As you know, I got Rams.
Buck stop here. The Rams gonna win this one.
This is a must win for the Rams, by the
Yeah,
way.
it is.
You got Rams, Sheldon?
Yeah.
Who you got, Ken?
Shit, this is actually tough because my gut said the rush was gonna keep it going. But nah, I think the Rams gonna put some things on that boy.
Jalen Ramsey ain't gonna let that shit go.
I think Rush is gonna be rushing back to the damn bench after this game.
This might be his worst game, probably. But
I'll say this: if CD can go off on Jalen Ramsey,
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
he's a number one,
It's
and
not
Jalen
gonna
Ramsey.
There's a lot of
is-
corners
It's
getting
not
cooked
gonna
though.
happen, bro.
Huh?
There's a lot of corners
Who?
getting cooked. I see people talking about corners getting ate up all the time.
There's only one that I know. Ramsey has been getting.
It's
cooked.
Ramsey.
A lot of
It's
people been getting
I'm trying to
You
remember.
just said Marcus Williams.
You mean Marcus Peters?
I think Xavier Howard was getting ate
Yeah,
up by
Marcus
somebody.
No,
too.
yeah, Xavier Howard got cooked by T. Higgins, but T. Higgins he's a legend already. That's 85.
So-
You know what I'm saying? You see what CD's doing to 88, so that's why I know how you
Yeah,
feel about that.
I think-
85 is strong in Cincinnati.
Who
I
had
think
85?
that
What you mean who had 85?
I didn't even know Cincinnati had legendary players. I ain't even. Oh, shit.
These niggas
Other than Munoz, I guess the only.
what you mean,
Ocho
Chad, bro. Come
Ocho
on.
Cinco.
Don't even do that,
Oh,
bro.
man, I forgot all about Chad Johnson.
Yeah, Rob said Lattimore got lit up.
Oh, he did. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Sertana's still strong.
That's why I'll tell you.
I'm
My
about to
pick
say-
is Broncos. I'm sticking with the Broncos.
The point is that it's Jim Ramsey not the only motherfucker out here getting cooked.
Nah.
Nah, it's just a different.
So we
level.
just only
We-
talking about Ramsey.
we hold. Think about this. Ramsey's one of the top elite in the way he's been getting.
He's
beat
supposed to be the
lately.
best.
Yeah,
Wait,
but-
niggas say-
Xavier and Lattimore ain't up there with him.
No, not with Jalen Ramsey. Not on that level. They're top level.
Who's on
corners.
Jalen Ramsey's level then?
Great
Give me
question.
some-
I
Zaire
say
Alexander.
Zaire.
Yeah, Alexander. That's pretty much
What
it.
about JC in San Diego?
Oh hell no! I saw
No.
him get cooked by.
No, he's not. He's on the level of Lattimore and those
He
other
did.
guys.
Patrick Mahomes threw to the third string tight end over his ass. They overpaid for that nigga.
I don't think nobody else is.
So Ramsey, the best corner in the league.
Supposedly.
So apparently, it sounds to me that Ramsey's being judged by his
There's-
standards and one other guy.
I'm gonna say this.
So the
It
other
sounds
elite-
to me like we need to
Slayer's
do.
up there.
It sounds to me like when week 6 hits, we'll be doing our top corners of the league, and we'll revisit this conversation about who.
It sounds to me like we're filtering out Ramsey.
I wanna say
specifically
Chinedu
and
Awuzie
isolating
is-
him
is
and not
top
holding
5.
all these other elite corners accountable because they getting cooked as well.
I'll say Chinedu Awuzie for the Bengals is an elite corner. bro.
Didn't he somebody ate him up in that
Not really.
game?
They Eli Apple ate up by Tyreek
Nah,
Hill.
Eli got. I don't even.
Yeah, Slay. But when you talk about Ramsey, you do talk about the elite of the elite. Just like we talk about Aaron Donald. People talk about Ramsey and Aaron Donald.
I thought
both.
we talked about Ramsey in terms of top 5. I didn't know we were separating him out from
I know we was
The top
making him the
5.
real Revis.
right.
Well,
Like,
He's the best. I mean, he's the best that we got right now. That's what
Yeah.
they say.
I thought I thought it was just a top 5 grouping and he was in there. And then we talked about everybody.
So
in
who
that
number
group.
one then?
yeah, who's
I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, if we're just isolating Ramsey and this other guy,
Alexander? Yeah,
if we
I
just
look, at,
talking
I
about-
look at Ramsey as the top,
Yeah, one or
either
two.
one or two.
yeah, that
But
one
the
and
way
two.
he's been playing is like he's not that anymore. That's what I'm saying.
but I guess
But his
my-
point is everybody's been playing like that.
Right.
No, it ain't everybody.
But see,
is
but
it?
and that's what I'm saying. I'm saying everybody's playing like that, but they were like, yeah, but they don't count
Yeah.
because they're not the top 2. That's what I'm saying. They being funny with the money, man. That's
I
what
ain't
they
being
do.
funny. I'm just saying. It sounds like we need to do a list because we talking about niggas that we all have our own list in our head and saying this not this and not that. Like we'll do our list, and then niggas will know what we thinking when we talking about top 5.
So we're gonna have top 2, and then we're gonna have 5
3
underneath
through
that. So we're
5.
doing
Yeah,
7.
it's gonna be 2 tiers. It's 1 and 2, and then the second tier
Not
is
just- yeah,
3 through 5.
My thing is when we talk top 5, we talk about him as 1 or 2 in that top 5 at all times. Because you
Supposed to be.
Yeah, him and Alexander are the top 2.
I feel like the group
in
is
the top
closer
5.
than that, though.
That's what I
just think
always
the
thought
group
it
is a
was.
lot
it
closer.
hadn't been. It hadn't been. When
just-
you talk about the top corner in the NFL, you don't really mention. They starting to mention Slade now, which I get. All reasons due by the way he's playing, but
But Slay ain't playing nobody.
beginning of the year, all you talked about was those two. That's all you talked about last year.
Slay had
You
Justin
talked-
Jefferson.
yeah.
That was about it.
When you talk about the Rams defense, even though we all know Aaron Donald is a class above everything else, you mentioned Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey is the best players on that team. You don't just say Aaron Donald. So that says a lot when you put in that category. Like y'all are two niggas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's another level.
Yeah.
So when he's getting beat like that, if Aaron Donald was suffering that type of punishment that we've been seeing on the back end,
We'll think something's wrong with him.
yeah, we'd be talking about him too.
Yeah, we think something's wrong.
Yeah, but y'all talk
He
about Aaron
different,
Donald. Y'all nope,
Aaron
they don't
Donald's
talk about
different. He
Jalen
ain't like
Ramsey the way
Ramsey,
they
yeah.
talk about the
Jalen
way they
Ramsey,
talk.
yeah, they talk about Aaron Donald with Lawrence
And,
Taylor. They don't speak
yes.
about Jalen Ramsey with Deion Sanders.
No,
They talk about Jalen. I always thought they talked about him up there though.
not
not
legendary
Dion.
status.
Hell
not
no.
Dion.
Well, I'm talking about
Aaron
currently
Donald
in
is
the NFL.
like-
there's
All-time
Dion,
great.
there's Revis
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Island, and who else is like
Charles
just
Woodson?
elite
Or you talking about
corners?
corners?
But then you have corners that have
They
a good
good.
run,
Yeah, they
like a
good.
good maybe
Like
3 to
Sherman,
5 year run.
Sherman had a good
Like
run.
Sherman had a good
Sherman, yeah,
run.
like
Jalen had
Ramsey,
his runs. Somebody's gonna come behind
Darrell
him.
Green.
But then you have these guys that are just otherworldly.
Elite.
Yeah,
Elite.
Reeves should have
Real
won
deal
a
elite.
Super Bowl with the Jets, and he got it with
And-
the Pats.
Yeah, and that's how they talk about Aaron Donald. They talk about Aaron Donald like GOAT status. But I don't remember Ramsey ever being discussed with some of the best corners of all time.
Not all the time, but he was supposed to be the best of his generation.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot about Champ Bailey.
Yeah.
Champ Bailey.
Ooh, Champ Bailey was, yeah. I always thought, I kind of felt sometimes he was a bit overrated as
You
a
did?
corner. Yeah. I thought they were hyping him up. I thought they were trying to make him another Dion, bro.
They was.
Especially coming out of college. I'm like,
Especially
man, he ain't
Georgia,
that
yeah,
damn
Georgia,
fucking
they
good.
did.
Yeah,
They hyped
Rod
him.
Woodson. Yeah, I remember they talking about Charles Woodson, but
Charles
Rod
Woodson.
Woodson for sure.
Charles Woodson too.
Charles Woodson was nice.
Was he was corner?
He played safety and
Yeah,
corner.
they moved
That's
him
what I
to
was
safety
saying.
later.
Yeah,
They moved both the Woodsons to safety
Yeah.
later. Both of them, Rod and
Mhm.
Charles, went to safety after
Yeah.
they slowed
that,
down.
they brothers,
No,
they cousins.
Mm-mm.
They
just
ain't
went-
related at all.
Charles Wilson is another one.
Rod Woodson.
Yeah,
is-
Charles Woodson was
they
nice.
different.
He
They
won
different
Super Bowl
dudes.
with the Packers.
All right. That's it for football. I know I didn't mention this at the top of the show, but we'll talk about basketball next week. But I mean, there's a couple basketball shit if y'all want to talk about it. First one is, or do you want to go? Oh, we got super chats too. So
Yeah.
we can talk about it as amongst that.
Real quick, too, shout out to the Braves. Oh, that's one of the super chats. I'll wait and read it now.
No, you can go ahead and do it now. I'll show it. I got foreign hustle.
A little light on
Yes.
the lines. Number one
Mhm.
offense in the league. Who would have thought that?
They don't win games though.
The
That's
worst
why,
defense.
They're the
in
That's
worst
what-
defense.
Worst
in the league.
defense and the
Yeah.
best offense is crazy.
and that's why I'm like, bro. Like I asked this earlier. I was like, bro, how many games is this motherfucker gonna have to lose before we like, all right, this nigga
They could do this all season though, and Campbell be good.
Yeah, they blaming Aaron Glenn.
Yeah, they do this all season.
That's who they're blaming. They're blaming Aaron Glenn, which is crazy because
He
I
gonna,
Aaron
get
saw
fired.
Glenn.
He gonna get fired
Yeah.
for it.
The
he's
defensive
defensive
coordinator.
coordinator.
He gonna get fired for this.
Well,
Mhm.
if you're the 32nd, yeah, of course you're gonna get blamed.
Yeah.
Especially if you got the number one.
No, I'm saying
offense.
they're not blaming Dan Campbell at
You
all.
can if he has a number one offense.
Dan Campbell is like, yeah,
And it's
we gonna
Jared
keep-
Goff.
Yeah, we're gonna keep.
He got golf looking crazy right now.
Yeah, he do.
And if your DC is the last in the league, then yeah, it's your
Time to
fault,
start having
bro.
You
conversations.
can argue. You
You
can
can-
argue Detroit has better offensive weapons than. Actually, I could say Detroit has better offensive weapons than the Rams.
You middle of the pack,
for
you're
sure.
probably 2-2.
For sure they do because they
They had both. They had Swift and Jamal Williams. Then you got Hawkinson.
and all of them was.
And
And,
you
see,
got,
the thing about this
That's a
week,
good point. If
this
they
week
was
they
at
had
16th,
400 something yards this week, and they had the top receiver was out. The top two receivers were both out,
Yeah.
and Swift was out.
too.
So they didn't have no receivers and no running back.
and then
they
once
still got all them
dude
yards.
from what's his name, Alabama gets healthy, they drafted him this year.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
Michi.
I forgot about him. Yeah,
Michi, yeah, he ain't
get
even on the team
bro.
yet.
They got a squad.
Yeah, they do.
Forgot about Michi.
Yeah, they got a track meet team.
Man, yeah, their defense was like 15th and 16th. They'll be okay.
Mhm.
2-2. Or
They may
something
be
like
leading the division.
that. Yeah, especially that division.
It is. This is the Vikings are
Bears
shit
got
ball.
two. Yeah.
They still may end up.
They won, though.
It's just they've had some tough games. They had to play the Eagles, and then they lost to Seattle, which, like I said, they were playing without all
Supposed to
those
win that.
players.
They're supposed to win the first game and that Seattle game. At
And
least.
then, but no, that first
Before
game,
we
they
get to
were
the
out
super
They
chat,
supposed to win that Eagles game. They
No.
lost it in overtime.
No, they were no, it went
They
overtime.
came back, didn't
They came back, but it wasn't overtime. They were still
they? They
down
missed
by
a field
10.
goal?
No, it wasn't close like that.
What was the week after that? They had
Yeah, it was the
close
week
game.
after. It was close.
before I get to super chats, Lou, What team are we sleeping on the most? The Seahawks or the Falcons?
Oh, that's easy.
Falcons.
Falcons 2-2.
Falcons are the ones that people and Falcons
because they
should have beat the Rams.
And then the shitball division. Like they can win that division.
The Falcons should be 4-0 because they had Seattle beat. I mean, they had
they were losing. They were
beat.
down by double digits against the Rams.
No, I'm talking about the Saints game. And then what I said they should have beat them was because they had a chance at the
I know
end.
they had a chance to win, but they shouldn't have really been in that game, is what I'm saying.
But that first game, they were dominating that first game and had that game won and end up losing at the end. But
Cordell Patterson get some MVP votes.
Yes, sir.
Hey, he on IR right now.
He's hurt.
Yeah, they had a knee surgery. That's why I was like, bro, he was statistically he was a top 5 running back in the league.
We're
crazy,
we're not sleeping on either one of these teams, y'all.
They terrible.
Come on, it's just not.
Hey, I'm just waiting on my
Falcons
boy.
can go
I'm
to the
waiting on my
playoffs.
boy Ritter to start because obviously Mariota ain't it.
Right.
You might as well kick the tires on my guy. He'll lead us to.
You would do that now?
Hell yeah,
You can win the division.
bro. They almost lost more games because of Mariota fumbling at the with the damn snap and some more shit.
Mariota average. I agree.
As long as he's doing, as long as he maintains a 500 pace and they got a
They
shot
gonna
at the division, he'll be the
stay.
starter. But until he started fucking up, if he was 1-3, you'll probably see Ritter out there, maybe.
Ritter got a good touch on that.
He from Cincinnati.
Yeah, of course.
Well, now it's touches on the bench.
Salsa, he ain't on the bench. Salsa out here locking niggas up.
Yeah, he's nice.
I was gonna call out my guys. I had to stop.
Go ahead with the super chats though.
Foreign Hustle, man. I got you. Foreign Hustle said the Braves win the NL East once again. Manny is somewhere very upset right now. I'm telling you, Manny is having a heart attack because we had the conversation. He was like, well, the Braves got to win these 3 games or we've won it, and they're not going to win all 3. They beat the Mets' top 3 pitchers, and these dudes was tough, and the Braves mowed them down, and they won the division.
He cussed you out and disappeared from the chat.
He did. He been back in the chat.
He been back. He left.
Yeah, they came back from 10.5 down. It was improbable, but they made it happen. The Braves playing some great baseball.
The Mets do this shit all the time. They have a league going into the final few weeks and blow it.
Blow it.
They blew it, and they had a dominant team, and you know they've been beating up on us pretty good this year, but we took it back over. So yeah. Josh Bros, what's happening, Josh? Hey, we appreciate the super chat love once again. Y'all keep them coming, man. Keep the love coming. We got you. Josh Bros, my guy. Josh said y'all have hated on Zach Wilson, especially Shelton. Yes, since he got drafted, and on Sunday he was 10 for 12 for 128 yards and a touchdown in the 4th. Give him credit. I do. I give him credit for a 4th quarter comeback, and that's where it ends. Zach Wilson is not it.
Damn. That's I don't know, man. That's pretty good.
That was the battle of the honey. I can't believe you watching this game.
But we haven't really have we really seen Zach Wilson yet? Though?
Nah.
Shit. Some
You don't need to.
some women in the New Jersey area between 35 and 55 have.
Between 40 and 50.
Yeah, that's
we
what
don't
Cougar
need
age
to.
is. Okay.
I don't know, man. We'll see. Garrett Wilson, Brees Hall finally taking over the starting job.
Now the Jets have good weapons too. I just don't think Zach Wilson is that dude.
No, he's not. I mean, Flacco looked good with the Jets.
We got to. I think we need to see some more games.
Yeah. I agree with that.
He gonna get hurt before the end of the season again.
That may actually truly happen.
King, what's happening? King said Mike T held Ryan Clark out of a playoff games because of health. They lost the game on that Tebow play.
Totally
Tomlin
different.
still got his job. 100%. Now,
different.
I was gonna say the only thing I'm going to say about that is Mike Tomlin. We all known he's different than most others. We already know that. He's not part of the system, but like we say, Pittsburgh is different.
He had a medical injury though. Like Mike Tomlin was very familiar of his medical injury, or his medical history before that game. It was because they were playing in Denver, and it had something that I don't know what it had to do.
Altitude
it's something to do with that. Mike Tomlin knew very well before going into that, and he told him because he did try to play, and Mike Tomlin told him, "Hell no, I'm doing this for your kids and whatever it may be."
Yeah.
But it wasn't concussion.
Apparently,
that's Mike T.
Miami's coach
It
Black
wasn't
Mike ain't doing the
concussion,
same thing.
but it was still health related. I think that is part of the discussion.
But I think that's Mike T.
Just for me, the difference is the doctors told Mike Tomlin too he shouldn't be playing. Like he want to play and he shouldn't do this. And Mike Tomlin was like, "No, we're not letting you play." They told the other dude, "Hey, he can play if he wants."
That's why the Pittsburgh's a different organization than Miami.
Class clown said under Matt Rule, what we talked about earlier, the Panthers are 1-26 when the opposing team scores 17 or more points. Heck, If a team averages 17 points, they're usually a bottom 2 offense. That's crazy to say that you can't trust your offense to get you
Not getting 17 points is crazy.
17 points a game.
That's crazy.
And
bro.
like I
NFL
said,
in 2022
and the trust
with McCaffrey as your running back.
man, that's crazy.
it's crazy to trust that you would bring in Sam Darnold to save that offense and Baker Mayfield. You took another man's trash is not.
They took the number.
It's your
they took
trash
the
now.
number
Who
one.
was his quarterback
they-
when he came in?
He hasn't had one since he got there.
He said Teddy Bridgewater, Cam Newton. Well, they had Cam. They let Cam go as soon as he got there.
They ain't had a
So
quarterback.
Cam didn't play for it.
Cam don't count. Cam wasn't
Yeah.
good.
They had the number 1 and number 3 overall pick in the 20 what draft class did Baker come out?
Yeah, they
2018?
passed over some quarterbacks.
So they had 2 quarterbacks who were supposed to be franchise quarterbacks.
Well, they didn't take Baker though. That's another one.
No, I'm just saying like they
they
brought
took
them.
McCaffrey instead.
No, I'm saying they brought them onto their team.
Oh,
Just-
okay.
and
Darnold.
that shows you how shitball that draft class was.
Yeah.
When they number 1 and number 3 can't even either one is bad.
Josh Allen and Lamar was in that same class, weren't they?
Yep.
Did the
Yeah,
Panthers
crazy.
have chances in them? Like the Panthers didn't have
No,
chances.
no.
The
No,
Panthers
not that
ain't
draft.
like just
They picked
Squandered their opportunity.
C-Mac instead of Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen.
In which at the time, I can't say that was bad.
Josh Allen wasn't shit until he went.
Yeah.
Josh
Right.
Allen
It
would
wasn't
have
a
been
bad-
say
it
I
wasn't
can't
a
say
Josh
that I
Allen would
wouldn't
have
have
been
took
shit
him
unless
at
he
that
would have
point.
been.
Then
Yeah, unless he would have been in
That really ain't that
Right.
Buffalo.
Yep.
That
But
really ain't
Lamar-
that
Probably the same
somebody-
thing with Lamar.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really ain't
Yeah,
that
Lamar
far.
ended up
Same
in
thing. Yep.
the best
I'm not. If
situation.
I'm the Panthers, you're not taking a chance on Lamar Jackson.
That sounds crazy.
When
to say
White-
that in 2022.
It is.
Now,
At
crazy.
the
Yeah.
time-
Yeah.
It's crazy what you
At
just
the
said.
time,
bro.
very few people believed in him. I watched him play. That dude was.
We watched him go the whole first round.
Yeah, like I watched Vic play. It was a lot of similarities them in college.
It made sense to black people.
It did.
Yeah.
It did.
We saw it.
It did.
Mellow Kid 91 said, go call Jake Delhomme out of the nursing home. Hey, Jake
That was-
Delhomme used to be that
Yeah,
dude.
I
back
hated
then.
that Jake guy now.
Hey,
bro.
Jake Delhomme used to be my
Nigga
nigga back in the day.
Dumb
bro.
mid. He invented mid.
He was, bro.
Man,
He was the
they
Al
believe,
Bundy
man.
of
He got
NFL.
off, bro.
He was Al
He
Bundy.
was
of
how
NFL,
bad he
bro.
was, though.
He was out.
barely enough, but he did. He got to the Super
He
Bowl.
got
Yeah,
he
man.
used to-
He
he should have won that
irritate
Super
me.
Bowl. They was up.
They was.
Yeah.
They should have won that. That is true.
Yeah, Jake
fucked
Snake was
up.
that guy.
Jake Delhomme.
Yeah.
Jake the Snake. That's what they call him in the South.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Hey, you know he cheated on his wife with another man's wife with that name.
Drink more water. Drink more water said the Chiefs might have the best offensive line in the league. They really turned that position around in a couple of years. Creed and Humphrey is very underrated.
Man, what's
Free
crazy
Humphrey,
is that
I said the
pe-
Eagles.
people really thought that they was gonna miss Tyreek Hill. People really thought that a team
They
with
did.
Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes could score
They really
points.
did. No, they did.
And now Tyreek over there looking at what? What he
Tyreek still doing his
Oh,
thing.
Tyreek
he
do
is?
that. Yeah.
Tyreek,
Oh, he is?
Tyreek
What,
balling.
You saying Teddy Two Gloves is
Not now. I don't know what they're gonna do since two or not. Though, but he
Hey,
was
but
saying
hey,
that.
Tyreek was still getting
I'm-
off with Teddy too.
I'm
good.
just
Because they
saying.
weren't guarding him.
I'm just
They
saying.
have to. They think he gonna get the
I'm
ball.
just saying, bro.
That man
People
had
really thought I ain't
10
gonna bring up
catches for
Tyreek. I'm just saying
185
people really
yards,
thought
something
that
like
Patrick
Chiefs for sure.
Mahomes could not score points.
Patrick Mahomes is a bad man.
This
He's a
man
bad
literally
man.
doing, bro. He doing anything
That,
on
that little
against
dance
the
right
number
there.
one rated defense in
Right.
the NFL, y'all. This defense, the teams that they face average only 9 to 12 points, if that.
Mahomes different.
Yeah, he's still out there.
He
having
threw up
fun.
41, and the game wasn't close. Them last touches that Brady did was just because of his legacy.
Correct.
He different.
Yep. Shut up a lot of people, including Tyreek, who was talking shit.
Yeah.
Man. Stephen A. Spliff was happening. He said thoughts on Kareem's comments on Kyrie. I didn't see Kareem's
Oh,
comments.
Kareem said he's a buffoon. He called him something. He said he called him some type of. He said some old man slur.
Kareem is Kareem. You saw LeBron's comments on Kareem?
What'd he say?
They asked LeBron, what was his thoughts on? Did he have any thoughts on passing Kareem on the scorer's title? And if there's a relationship there, he said, "No, I have no thoughts on it. No, there's no relationship."
Kareem probably told us
Go
some shit
on.
back in the day.
Yeah, he and LeBron do
You
not
called
mess
him
with
a
Kareem.
comical buffoon.
Yeah.
Wow.
Over the Alex Jones tweet.
What was the Alex Jones tweet?
He just said
He said he was right or something.
people would sleep. Alex Jones may have been right about some stuff.
I think I'm gonna have to go with Kareem on
Yeah, I was
this
gonna
one.
I keep telling
I was
people
gonna
like,
say-
bruh, sometimes when they tell these mother, and this is a black platform, so I'm always saying this on this. Well, they be telling these athletes, bro, just shut up and dribble. Bro,
sometimes
I swear, bro, that was, bro. If Kyrie just shut up and dribble, bro, he would be, bro. We wouldn't even be thinking about him in the light that we think about him.
Yeah.
Even if Alex Jones was right
Why
about
do you
something,
say it? That's what I'm sitting here thinking about. Like, why you put that out? Like, why you sit there and you like, what? Maybe
What does
Alex
this do
Jones
for
was
you?
right.
Like, what does that do for you?
Nothing.
Especially with everything that you've been going through. Like, come on, bro. And you
Like,
just came out talking about, I lost 80 million or 100 million because of the vaccine. Like, just it sounds dumb. Like, why would you do that?
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Even though I don't agree with Kareem comments, it's just, why would you do that?
I think two things can be true. I don't fuck with Kareem off the court, and I don't fuck with Kyrie off the court.
They said Kareem real
Right.
standoffish, like real. Like,
Have you watched Winning Time? Didn't you?
No.
Yeah, he's
Watch that shit,
he's always been that
That
way.
motherfucker
I heard he got a real bad rep.
Yeah,
if he wasn't good at basketball, he wouldn't be shit.
Right. Josh Bros again. Josh Bros said Lamar's my favorite QB in the league, but he threw for 30-yard yards and was scoreless in the second half on Sunday, so he has to take some blame.
We read that one.
Yeah, I read that. I'm sorry. I shouldn't did. Drink more water. I read that like it was brand new.
Why you let him finish with all the? Why you let him?
They let me go all the way through.
Didn't see him, but I said as soon as he finished.
I'm gonna let you get this out. I'm gonna let you know right now.
Y'all could have stopped
You
me, man.
wasted a chat.
Y'all could have stopped me, man.
He got a
Oh,
2
man.
for 1, boy. Hey.
Yeah. Drink more water. Drink more water. Said, when did taking points become not the best option unless you absolutely have to? Analysts are making coaches go for it on fourth down way too much. Boy,
Hey,
we
that's
seeing
what
that a lot.
That's what they were saying, bro.
I'm kind of with it though. I'm
It's
fucking
exciting,
with
isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so-
I don't really. I think
it.
when
I
it's
wouldn't do it.
when it's week 4, and I'm at home, take the points, bro.
Man.
Again, if this is week 14 and we're playing, it means shit in the division online. I need to win this game to help with seeding. Yeah, we're gonna do the touchdown. We're gonna chance it. But
I do that in reverse though. Like, I'm going for it earlier in the year. If it's later in the year, take the points.
no, if I'm only going for it on 4th and whatever, and but they were already up. That's what I'm trying to say.
Man,
Like,
these
what do you,
teams
what,
are-
like you just trying to pile on at this point.
Gotcha.
You're risking the game, and that's what they did.
Yeah, these teams are going for it now, 4th and 1 on their 30, on their own 30.
They going for
It's
they going-
Madden, bro.
Yeah, it's Madden
they
right
going
now.
for it on 3rd and
I said-
25 at they 2.
That FIFA coach. Boy, they tripping right now. Nick and Knight said, need to know where you stand with your takes on the NFL before the season started. Still stand on what you say.
I don't know what he's talking about.
I had
I
Chargers.
guess our takes on where
I had
everybody
Chargers
would
Vikings in the Super Bowl.
Oh, we're gonna do a quarter. We should do
Yeah, thirds. It's gonna be thirds.
thirds.
We're gonna 3 for 3 instead of 30 for 30. We'll call it 3 for
Yeah.
3.
6,
Yeah,
12,
so we're gonna-
18.
we're
So
gonna do
Nick
that.
and Knight, we're gonna get back to you on that when we're third.
Week 6.
So week 6, we tap
Yeah.
in.
So we got a couple more weeks. Josh Bros again said, who do y'all think is the worst starting quarterback in the league at the moment? I think it's between Baker, Daniel Jones, or Justin Fields, even though Fields has
Hold on. Don't say Danny Dimes. You ain't talking about the 3-1 Giants right now.
He up there.
Lucky I ain't bring my hat.
He
Luke.
played like shit.
He up there.
He had 2 tutties. Last time I checked. What you mean? Stop.
looks
He had more
awful.
touchdowns than
He looks-
Jimmy Garoppolo.
He looks awful.
He had more touchdowns than Jimmy Garoppolo.
It don't look like they can win a game with him at quarterback.
They winning
It
games.
just don't look like they should be
They
winning
would be
games with him
undefeated
at
if it wasn't
quarterback.
for the punk
Every
ass
time he
Cowboys.
dropped back, he looked confused.
Saquon.
Every time he dropped back, he looked confused.
Yeah.
First of all,
Like,
that's
bro,
just how he
what's
look.
going on?
That's just how you look. I can't help
He
you
went
with
to
that.
Duke. He shouldn't look like it.
Yeah. You go to Duke for academics,
by,
not football.
by far is Baker, though. Baker's by far the worst quarterback in the league.
I say
You can't say somebody's 3-1 and be the worst quarterback. That's impossible. But I would say
And I can't blame man. Justin was. I don't know if y'all saw any of that game.
Justin feels like a running back.
Man,
playing
Justin
quarterback,
Fields
bro.
has to run for his life.
But he like a running back playing quarterback. They ain't throw it past like 5 yards.
they only threw the like,
They don't have
they've
no-
been talking about
he don't
that
have time.
offensively that he's thrown like 75 passes so far. Like
I'm gonna
it's
say
something
Danny.
crazy. Dang.
I don't care about the record.
no, I would say who's the quarterback in Houston? Davis
Davis
Mills?
Mills.
Davis
Yeah,
Mills.
that's the
Davis
worst.
Mills not bad though.
What's their record?
That's not reflective.
Oh, okay.
It ain't been reflective. of his
They
performance.
record
I'm
don't
gonna
reflect
go-
on who he
Yeah,
is.
I'm gonna go with Matt Ryan.
Okay.
Matt Ryan has been awful. It's like he don't look like a quarterback.
It's still Baker, man. If y'all watch any of Baker been missing throws. So
You just saying
bad.
that because you
Carolina would take Matt Ryan tomorrow
Yes.
Well, yeah, you're right.
Carolina
Yes,
would
It might
pick,
be
Carolina
Baker. It might
would-
be Baker.
Yes,
Carolina
it's
would-
Baker.
because Indianapolis ain't taking.
Carolina
Yeah.
would take Daniel Jones with the first overall
Yes,
pick.
they're gonna pick. That's what they're gonna do.
over
They're
that.
gonna end up signing Daniel Jones next year because they want everybody else's trash. Kevin Timothy, he said on an NBA note, will a European win the regular season MVP for the 5th year in a row this season? Yes,
Luka.
100%.
It's all right there for him.
Damn, I forgot that Americans haven't won MVP in a minute.
Yeah, where's
Wait,
that
who was before?
American?
The last American that
exceptionalist?
won it was
Yeah.
that
Who
Who
been? Who won it? Who's like Jokic?
was that Harden?
Joker,
Was Harden the last one?
Giannis. Oh, okay.
Giannis, Joker,
But Giannis won it what 2 times in a
Didn't they
row?
both win it twice?
And then Joker has
Joker's
won it
won it
twice in a
twice.
row. So it's been
Yeah.
so was the last one James Harden?
Was it LeBron?
James Harden won the MVP, was it?
I
yes,
said
he
the
was.
last
Yeah, you're
American,
right,
the
you're
last
right.
American to win it.
It wasn't LeBron?
Nah, LeBron.
Well, to
hasn't-
answer that question, no. You think an American-born player is gonna win it this year?
No,
Yeah, they
absolutely
will.
not.
They
It's
will.
gonna be Luka.
Luka's gonna
Luka
win.
gonna win it. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And if not Luka, it's gonna be Joker again.
3 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Just so both of them could get. Well, I can't say this about Luka.
Steph got a shot though. If Golden State performs like they did last year,
Steph won all the shit he need to win. Steph ain't getting no MVP.
Steph ain't
no
getting
more.
no MVP. Story too old.
man,
Shit,
that
he
man won a
old now,
championship
boy. I
last
realize
year.
this
They
decent.
Yeah, you're right. Story is old.
Yeah, story
They
too
don't
old.
care.
They ain't got
They're
nothing to
moving
say.
on.
And he won a
Kill
title,
him.
so it's just like he just coming off of that. You know, what else you gonna say about Steph? Morant, I think Morant could possibly get an MVP if he plays like he did last season, not get hurt.
Okay.
That's the only reason why he
That's
fucked them
hard.
up. Because
Yeah,
if he
that's
didn't get hurt and miss all them games and they won all them games while he was out, he would have been MVP.
Yeah, James Harden was the last one. Then Russell Westbrook.
That's
the
why
year
James was
before
upset when
that. Can y'all
Giannis
believe
won. He was like,
Russell
"Damn, I ain't gonna never
Westbrook
win
was
again."
MVP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying after watching.
Oh,
the
you're talking about
yeah,
how he looks now.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. That
yeah,
that
you
short-
never would thought.
right.
Yeah.
That's a former MVP.
Yeah, them triple doubles was amazing.
Shit, I thought about that Nash for his whole life, even after the year after he won MVP.
Steve Nash?
Yes,
He won 3.
He won 2.
Two.
Don't hype it up now.
I thought he
Yeah,
he split one.
Nah.
Rob Costa, what's up? Rob say, top of the evening, everyone. Is Aaron Judge having the greatest contract season in sports history? Also, Matt Rule's coaching is detrimental to my mental health.
Nah, the greatest contract in sports season history was Joe Flacco.
He won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Breaking
The-
the record
the-
in home
the-
runs is big, though.
I agree
No,
with you.
but he
Wait,
won.
say what?
You're right,
But
he won
it
the
ain't
Super
bigger.
Bowl.
It ain't
He won
bigger
the
than winning the
Super
Super
Bowl.
Bowl.
Wait, what'd you say?
Breaking the record in home runs.
What record?
62. The Yankees record. The
American
Yankees
League.
record. I'm talking about
Oh.
the Yankees record. I
It's
ain't talking
American
about.
League.
I ain't talking about Bonds. I ain't. No. I'm talking about
He
the
broke the
Yankees.
American League record, though.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He hit that tonight. He just hit it.
Yeah, he did hit it.
Oh, he broke the Yankee record.
Yeah, he broke
Yeah,
the
Yankee record
and
and-
the
Who was
American.
the dude
American
behind in front of him? Was it
Maris.
Maris,
Yeah,
Roger
yeah,
Maris.
that's
Yeah.
what it was.
So the only reason I say this was because he about to break the bank. They're gonna have to get this dude have me.
I don't
have
think he
And
paid.
they're
wanna
gonna
play-
find
I
out he
don't-
was on the shit.
That's what.
I think he's gonna leave. He
I
gonna
don't
go to
think he
San
want to
Francisco.
play.
Even if they do, they're gonna have to break the
New
bank,
York.
Yeah, he
too.
gonna leave. He going to San Francisco. I think.
They're gonna have to
Yeah.
break whoever.
Because he's in
And they
Cali,
can
boy.
afford
right?
it. He from the Bay Area.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they can afford it.
I wouldn't mind him going to San Francisco. Wherever he goes, they're gonna break the bank.
I think he's gonna go back to San
I
Francisco.
think he's like, look, New York, I'm gonna give you the best that I can this season. I'm getting paid and going back home.
And New
That's
York
just-
don't want to give him a 10-year
that's just
deal.
crazy
He's
that-
30 years old.
That's just crazy.
I didn't realize he was that. I remember he
Yeah.
was young pup in the league.
He won't.
Mhm.
And he won't what 40 a year for 10 years, $400 million contract.
What else the
Let's
Yankees
go.
doing?
Let's go.
Hell no.
Why
30
not?
years old? You gonna get 3 good more years out of
I
him?
hope you're pool.
Shit, what that's better than
Pujols
what,
still hitting.
what's his name?
It's crazy. Pujols ain't shit anymore.
And he's still hitting home runs.
And he's
He got the
but we don't
second
talk
most
about
home
it.
runs
Oh, he's-
after the All-Star break.
yeah,
this year.
he's
Crazy.
He's having a great
He's
year.
had 17
great
home
re-
runs since the All-Star break.
I mean,
He's right behind Judge in home runs.
what's crazy is
It's
all three of them. I think they've been in the league together 16 years, and they retiring at the same
Yeah,
time.
That's a
Molina,
good comeback for
Yeah.
him. 'cause
Yeah, it is. He was terrible. You're not wrong, but I don't know what it was, but he's hit a streak these last like.
You already know what it is.
Yeah,
I don't want to say it. I don't know what
he
it
was
was.
tapping that needle.
However, he's had a resurgence since he got around 700,
And he's passed Babe Ruth.
703.
Yeah, he's at 703. He passed Babe Ruth for second in RBIs.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
yeah.
a hell of a career right there.
It is.
We got another super chat.
That was the last one.
That's the last one.
One more from Josh Bros. Do you guys think Jared Goff was overhated, or do you think he's still trash and just on a nice run this year? He might not be as bad as first thought.
I agree with that.
He's-
I think he was a little bit better than we thought. He just went what Sean McVay wanted.
I don't think he handled that
He just
pressure
wasn't
well.
good.
I think in Detroit there's no pressure. There's no pressure there because nobody expected him to do anything. Now that they're playing in a groove, you kind of figured out his sweet spot, and it's easier to perform. He was good with the Rams until the lights came on, and everybody started focusing on that team.
I would say I won't
Good
go
is a
that far because
strong word.
he balled out because they beat the Chiefs when they went like it was like 54.
Yeah, I
That's
wouldn't
what I'm-
go-
but
I
that's
wouldn't
what
go
I'm saying.
far
That was
either.
prime time. So like I'm not saying that. I just think that was the ceiling of golf. We saw the ceiling of golf with McVay, and now with Detroit, we're probably seeing what his floor really is. Like
Gotcha.
he's a decent to good quarterback on a given day.
Mhm.
As you can see, he ain't that good because they ain't won shit.
True.
So, and this is what year 2 of golf.
Is it
So
2 or 3?
yeah, it's
It's
year
2.
2 because
Yeah, because when they
two.
didn't,
Yeah.
They traded him last year.
Yeah.
because that whole golf run, that Rams run was built around Gurley.
Yes.
And
And,
once
uh,
Gurley
was.
went out,
Yeah,
I
and
keep
that was
forgetting
it.
that nigga was in the league,
That's what
bro.
it was.
That's a
I was
monster,
trying to
too.
put my finger.
This
That's
nigga
why
had-
the offense looks
He had over 21
ever
touchdowns.
since he stopped doing what Gurley did, Sean McVay ain't been the same. That's the name. That's what I was looking for right there.
Yep, the Gurley.
Todd Gurley was a
Sure the
dude, bro. He was
fuck
on the
was,
shop and
yeah.
everything. I ain't see LeBron pick up his number since.
Yeah, he had that arthritic knee, and
What happened to him?
he had arthritis in his
He
knee.
got paid though, so I'm happy for him.
Yeah,
I hope he saved his
He got
money.
It was
Steven
his knee.
Jackson. Same thing happened to Steven
yeah,
Jackson.
it was
and,
straight knee.
Larry
And
Johnson.
it ended it all.
You talking about Kansas City, Larry Johnson?
Yeah, you remember
Mhm.
him?
Yeah, I heard
like
he
2-3
crazy
years
now.
like
Like
that.
was that your
Yeah.
homeboy?
I don't know if he. I know what happened to him, but yeah, that was good.
Yeah, those big backs.
Yeah.
Got it.
Oh, one basketball thing before we go out. Miami Heat gave Tyler Hero 4-year contract extension worth $130.
I see
Is
that.
he worth it?
I mean,
I'ma say no.
They gotta spend it.
Yeah.
Who else would you spend it?
I wouldn't spend it on him.
Tyler Hero's a
Yeah, you had to
cult
lock him
hero, and he like local favorite.
Say that.
He paying, yeah.
That was a
A
business.
white boy that can play.
That was a
Yeah.
business.
They got
Miami?
black game.
Yeah, in Miami, and
Yeah.
Jack Harlow, his best friend. Come on,
business decision.
Mm.
They got
I feel
somebody
like, I
new.
feel like every
Now
company
they ain't
wants to
got to
jack-
invite Birdman to sit courtside no more. They can get Jack Harlow down there.
I feel like
Come on.
I feel like Birdman was when they was winning, so they
That
poo-poo
Jack Harlow,
Bird.
the new generation, him and Tyler.
I feel like every corporation wants a Jack Harlow on their squad.
Yeah.
Or every basketball team.
Not the Jazz. The Jazz.
The Jazz almost had one with
They don't want him though. They don't
Spurs
want,
wouldn't even.
the Jazz don't want that around them.
I
nor do
guess
the
my
Spurs.
question is like, because this thing, like, is he the transition piece? Meaning that, like, where does this contract stack in relation to
that's what I'm saying too.
other players in the league, and who's at his level? Because if this is just a roster spot contract, is the best way I can describe it, and he's not getting elite money, like superstar, you're the guy money, then it's fine. But if they're paying him to be the guy, and that when Jimmy leaves and everybody else go, and we're gonna hand him the keys to the franchise, then the money might look different.
Yeah, I don't think he that dude. Though.
Yeah, no. I think he's the
That's
third.
about
third
28
piece.
million a year, right? Isn't it?
That's
Something
normal.
like that.
Ain't that's the
Well, that's
NBA
more than that.
salary
It's
now.
more than
What,
that.
what'd you say? 4 at 130?
Yeah, what is that?
4 at
So
130.
it's 25.
That's
It's
over
about
30.
32, 33,
Yeah,
something like
30,
that.
33. Yeah.
I guess that's a normal NBA contract now.
That's normal. For
Yeah, it'd probably be average. So
Yeah.
yeah, it'd be
He getting
fine.
paid more than Jalen Brunson.
Well, that's what I was gonna ask. So what's Jalen Brunson getting?
His was only 100
The
million.
Knicks wish they had Tyler Hero.
He was like 104, 105 million.
Yeah, he
maybe.
brings more to the table than Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
ain't
does,
done-
but
he ain't done
contract
much.
wise, I think they're probably about the same.
He ain't done much.
He's
since
the
Jalen Brunson.
he's
Nah.
the third wheel on that team because you got Jimmy and you got
Damn.
Bam.
Brunson,
And then
Brunson is a third wheel on the Knicks too.
Stop.
hey, bro, RJ is going. RJ is going to have.
who
I'm
the
gonna
top
I'm gonna
two?
say it right. I'm trying, kid. I was trying.
Who
To,
the
I'm
top
trying to be
two?
an objective sports fan. I'm trying to be an objective sports fan this season. Y'all keep on testing me, bro. RJ is going to have a really good season. This
You a
year.
Cavs
That's one
fan
of them
too?
$25
You a
spare
Cavs
I ain't a
tires.
Cavs fan. I don't fuck with Cleveland.
I didn't know if you didn't like.
Nah, I only. I told you, I
don't
only
know
got
if you
two
like
teams.
6 more teams.
I don't only got two
Oh.
teams. I only
Hey, that
got
was
two.
funny when he said it
He
earlier.
always say that. I only got two teams
Tell me
in
I-
one league. Everything else is individual. I already got one of
Yeah.
one off.
All right. Mhm.
I'm only a Knicks fan,
Unfortunately,
but I root for Melo.
Who the top two then? If Jalen is third, who the top two?
Obviously,
you had to ask.
you already know who it is.
No, who?
You know what I'm saying?
I don't think he knows either.
No, I want him to tell me.
Please,
Who the top? I know you got RJ, but who's the other?
We're gonna find out this season.
Quickly?
Nah, it's not quickly. I'm saying Obi
It's your
Toppin.
man's, ain't it? The powerful.
I think,
Toppin?
I think Obi Toppin is
Obi
I
Toppin?
think Obi Toppin's gonna be that guy.
That's your guy?
That's my guy.
So you just gonna do Jamarcus Randall?
Obi.
You're crazy.
I think Randall, but I think we honestly been trying to move off of Randall,
That's
but
the
nobody's
best
trying to
player
take
on y'all team, bro.
No one's trying to pick up that book.
That's the best player on y'all team.
I'm telling you, we sleeping on somebody in Obi.
He's slick.
Obi can get you about 25 and 15 if you wanted
in the
to.
G League.
Who your team in basketball? You ain't got one, do you?
Don't.
Yeah, Nashville ain't got shit
I
for
don't.
you. What you got?
I
Yeah.
used to root for the Celtics today.
Oh yeah. You
Obi
ain't.
ain't got no role, really.
Nah,
Hey, one
He
quick
ain't got a
basketball
shot.
question for y'all though. Did y'all see where the 36ers that foreign team came in and beat Phoenix the other day?
The 36ers.
Yeah.
Where were
Phoenix
they
played
from?
played an exhibition game preseason.
Yeah, I saw that.
Man,
I didn't know
It's
why.
preseason though, so I don't give a
Yeah, I
fuck.
don't know why it was news, but now you're telling me. I guess because it was a foreign team
Yes.
that made it news.
In the way they beat them, the Adelaide 36ers played the Phoenix Suns and they kind of stuck them. So they beat them 134 to 124, and they went off. They was hitting shots from all over the place.
What's the?
My thing with Phoenix is that how is Monty Williams?
Do we care about that?
Yeah, I
like,
don't.
what-
I was gonna say.
Was they even playing like players?
Yeah,
They
I don't know.
playing. They
They played the
playing.
starters?
They played. They were on a restriction minute, but they played 20-something minutes. And when they were in there, they was getting drugged.
They don't give a
So
fuck
they
about
wanted to
that
come.
team.
No, they
Right.
wanted to play. No, they wanted to play. They didn't like that. And he told them they couldn't.
You
come
don't
back
know
in.
if they wanted to play. You just saying
That's what they said. They was asking to come
they
back
don't
in.
give a fuck about preseason games, bro. They just want to
Man.
get some.
Man,
recognition.
shut
You
it out.
don't want to be embarrassed by no foreign team.
The foreign team they probably happy they even got a chance to get out. Where they from?
Adelaide,
Australia.
Adelaide, where? Australia.
You don't want nobody coming in.
That probably just made they.
There's only
They was
one
on the
other.
bench setting up stuff after the game. Like, bro, where you headed after this?
Right, they don't give a
y'all
fuck
still
about them.
hooping? Oh, I'm going in.
They looked at it like,
Man,
y'all for
listen.
real thought
Are
we
they
was playing?
Aborigines?
Like, you gotta say that
Listen,
to the
man.
fans. You can't say like, bro, we don't give a fuck about these preseason games. You gotta still sell tickets for them games.
I don't
Listen,
think it's a
man,
big deal.
I think it is. I don't think you want to get.
And it's
Especially-
Phoenix.
Hey y'all, I'm gonna tell
especially
y'all
with-
right now, Shelton ain't gonna let this shit go.
No,
He gonna keep bringing it up all season when the
He'll
Suns
bring it up the
struggle.
whole
I
damn.
remember when they lost to that foreign
No.
team.
I'm telling you it right now. This is the setup.
Not to mention Robert Sarver, everything going on with the owner and all that stuff. The foreign
He gonna
team,
come
this
back to
is
this
it.
game. He gonna be like,
Australia.
y'all remember when Australia beat them? I knew they were in trouble.
They got a lot going on, Shelton. They
Yes.
got a lot going on.
Well, they got their heads beat in by some
They got a lot.
non-professionals.
They got a lot going on.
All right. Yeah, okay.
He said they got their heads beat in by professionals.
Non-professionals.
They are professionals, just
non-NBA
not
players.
NBA, yeah.
Non-NBA players.
And the Knicks got it. Oh, we talking about preseason wins.
Bro, I've
Hey,
never
the
heard
Knicks
of
got
it.
the win. Knicks beat the Pistons. You know what I'm saying? What my boy get? What my boy
yeah,
get?
that's about on the same
You know
level.
what I'm saying? Topper only had a few minutes, so he had 8-6. You know what I mean?
This is when he ought to be getting 25, 30
Shut up,
minutes.
bro.
Actually,
Yeah.
it's the only time he's gonna show he can play.
RJ doing his thing, you know. 20. RJ gonna average about. Never mind.
Thank you.
RJ's gonna have a really good season, bro.
Yeah, he's going to average, what, about 20-something points?
We gonna see.
RJ Barrett.
Yeah, in -2 assists.
I'm y'all can't
Pass
wait.
the ball
I can't
itself.
wait for this.
The
Next
NBA
season.
is better when the Knicks good though. Unfortunately, it's
Shit,
just,
life
Yeah,
is
so the
better when the
NBA
Knicks
been
good.
sucking in because the Knicks
it ain't been good in a
All
long
right, well, how
time.
them Hornets doing? What y'all got to look forward to besides court dates?
better than the Knicks. As long as we're above the Knicks, that's all that matters.
That's it. All I got.
All right. Well, that's gonna do it for us, man. We appreciate you guys coming through, man. It's gonna be a sorry ass game Thursday, y'all, but you know, we'll see.
Who
We
played
there.
Thursday again?
The
Colts.
Colts.
In the Broncos.
Yep. And it's funny because we saw the game when we were doing the Broncos, like, oh my god, this shit's gonna be so bad.
This is where Thursday. This is when you realize like Thursday nights is overrated. We don't need a Thursday night game.
Mm-hmm.
When it's like Bengals and what was it? Dolphins and then what was it?
at least they had
Bills and Rams. Like it was like at least have.
Yeah.
I thought they were leaning more into like, oh, we're having good Thursday night.
At the beginning of the season, though, you would have thought this would have been.
because then they also had Chargers, Chiefs. So they came out.
You would
hot.
have thought that, but you know, like even our predictions, everybody was predicting the Colts and the Broncos to kind of be like a premier situation. but it's not.
But Tua Burrow are young names. They're the names that we know from college. They won on college level. Tua's finally coming back around. Burrow off a Super Bowl, so that's exciting because they're guys that we know. Colts. I mean, fucking Matt Ryan.
They're trying to repackage and resell.
Yeah, they old heads now. We don't care about
refurb is good.
No,
exactly.
But think about think about the predictions we had though. I mean, I
thought the Colts was going to win their division.
But everybody said the Colts was going to win the division and the Broncos were going to be
resurgent.
I guess why they put them on against each other. Both of them new quarterbacks in new cities that's supposed to be like the saviors for these two teams.
No, I get what you're saying.
I'm talking about beginning of the year, it looked appealing. Now it looked like
Jonathan Taylor don't look like he worth shit right now.
He got hurt too. So he's got an injured ankle. I forgot about that. And the shoulder for
Russell. So he done.
Oh yeah. We're doing a call-in show Thursday too. So yeah. So come through, guys. Members, if you're not a member, sign up. So you can call in and kick with us. So we'll be doing that Thursday. So we'll catch you guys then. We out. Peace.
Peace.